You are watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.
When I was lost and far away, your mercy found me where I lay. When my strength had faded thin, your grace came rushing in.
Watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.
When I was lost and far away, your mercy found me where I lay.
This is the story shared by Ms. Dorothy on her Facebook blog. It is not a story told for sympathy. It is a story told for awareness. Ms. Dorothy is an African immigrant living in the United States, a mother who came with hope, trust, and the belief that the system would protect her and her child. At the center of her story is her beloved daughter, a child born into a difficult reality, raised without the support of an absentee father, but deeply loved by a mother who did everything she could with what she knew. Life, however, became overwhelming. When Ms. Dorothy developed a serious medical condition, she began searching for help she believed would keep her family together. Instead, she encountered individuals and systems that she says exploited her vulnerability. She was misled, she was manipulated, and according to her account, she was tricked into an adoption process she did not fully understand. What she believed was temporary help became permanent loss. Her voice, she says, was silenced. Her consent, she says, was distorted. And her pain, she says, was dismissed. This story is not about perfection. It is about power imbalance. How immigrants, especially those unfamiliar with legal and medical systems, can be pushed into irreversible decisions without full understanding or protection. Ms. Dorothy describes a system where trust became a weapon and desperation became an opportunity for exploitation. Today, she is not silent. She is speaking out, not to accuse recklessly, but to warn others, to educate immigrant parents, to expose how easily vulnerability can be misunderstood or abused. She is fighting. She is seeking justice, not just for herself, but for her daughter. As you listen to this story, do not rush to judgment. Do not reduce it to headlines or opinions. Listen carefully, learn from it, and reflect on the lessons it carries. This is not just Ms. Dorothy's story. It is a reminder that information is protection. This is UB Stories. Like and subscribe. Disclaimer. This documentary is presented for public awareness, education, and storytelling purposes only. The views, experiences, and statements expressed in this program are those of Ms. Dorothy, as shared by her on her personal Facebook blog, and are presented here as personal testimony. They reflect her individual experiences and perspectives and do not constitute verified findings of fact, legal conclusions, or accusations against any individual, organization, or institution. This content is not intended to defame, harm, or misrepresent any person or entity, whether named or unnamed. All references are shared in good faith, based solely on publicly shared personal accounts. Nothing in this documentary should be interpreted as legal advice, a determination of guilt, or a claim of criminal or civil liability. Viewers are encouraged to form their own opinions and seek independent verification where appropriate. Some scenes and discussions may involve sensitive and emotionally distressing topics. Viewer discretion is advised. This documentary is protected under fair use principles for commentary, education, and public interest discussion.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Dorothy Ijoma, and I'm here to tell my story. I have the story already on YouTube and Facebook, but I want to put it in Twitter and other platforms because it's a very important story of my life that I want to, keep afresh, and I also want people to hear it so they can learn from my mistakes or from, what happened to me in the story. So we're going to start right now. Like I said before, my name is Dorothy Ijoma, and I am here in the US. I came to the US in the year 2002, though I previously visited US and then go back after some months. But in 2002, I had gotten married in Togo to my husband, then husband. And soon as we got married, he wanted us to come to the US for a honeymoon and just to see how the place is and go back. That was the initial plan. And I believed him because he had a business back home that I thought he wouldn't want to lose or miss. So I believed that we were going to come and just go back home like I normally do. So after our traditional marriage and everything, we both traveled to America. I came in first. And I remember when I was coming, he told me, before I left, he told me, he said, when you get to America, don't interact with anybody that says that they're my family. I don't have any family there. So that kind of felt weird and strange to me, but I believed him. He was a good person at that point, so I believed everything he said. So when I got to America and I went to where I used to rent then from a Nigerian couple, we were just talking one evening, and the lady said, "Oh, by the way, do you know that your husband has a brother in Baltimore?" I said, "My husband has a brother in Baltimore?" She said, "Yes, he has a brother in Baltimore." So, like I was saying, I was shocked when I heard that he had a brother here. So I became curious, and I asked my landlord, the Nigerian man, to please take me to the place if he knows where he lives. He said, "Oh yeah, we're good friends. We went to college together, so I can take you there." So one evening, he made a call to the man. He said, "Oh, your brother got married in Nigeria, yeah?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, his wife is here and she would like to see you." And the man was so excited over the phone. He said, "Oh, let me just come and see her. Let me just come." So the next day, he drove down to Upper Marlboro, where I lived then. Well, I still live in Upper Marlboro, but he drove down to the place I used to stay then. And it was a very beautiful meeting. I mean, he was so excited. He was so happy. He said, "Oh yeah, we heard you got married," and he got married, and we're so excited, and we welcome you to the family, blah, 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 blah. I was so surprised. I was surprised that my husband could even keep this type of secret from me. So I called him that day, or when he called, I spoke to him, and I'm like, "I heard you have a brother here." He said, "Yes, don't go to them, don't talk to them. They're evil." I said, "Okay," but that made me more curious. So that weekend, I called the man. I said, I want to come and see you in Baltimore." So he actually drove down and took me to his house. His wife was excited, they have a daughter, and everybody was so happy that I was there. I spent that night and I came back the next night. And when I came back, I spoke to my husband. I said, "Well, I met your brother. Why would you even lie to me about your brother?" He said, "Well, they're not good. He's been in America for more than 40 years. He doesn't come home, and he doesn't do anything for people at home. So we don't really..." I said, "That doesn't mean that you have to hide the fact that you have a brother from me." So we had that argument, and then it was a very short argument. He apologized and everything. So a few weeks later, when he was coming, remember I said I came first because he had to tidy up some things back home. He said his goods just came, so he had to, try to sell some, and then, try to put things together with his boys before coming. So he was done with all that, and it was time for him to come and meet me. So he called me 2 nights to his arrival and said, "You know what? I'm not coming to where you are. I'm going to go straight to my brother." And I'm like, I thought you said they are bad people. He said, don't worry, we're trying to reconcile. I'm going to go to them. So when I get to Baltimore, I'll let you know. I said, okay. So true to his words, he got to Baltimore and I went there. When I got there, his brother was like, since you people don't have a permanent place to stay, since you're just renting, can you just spend some time with us? Let's just get to know each other better and things like that. And I was like, okay, because me, I'm an open book. I flow with any flow. But, I've learned my lesson and I've really learned it in a very hard way. So we stayed for a few days and then I insisted we'll come back. So we came back to where I was renting here in Upper Marlboro. And his brother kept calling, he would call every minute of the day to talk to him and things like that. And this went on for like a week. Then he told me, oh, my brother is trying to get me a job. I said, a job? We're supposed to come and just go. He said, no, one of my cousin is a manager in KFC. They're going to try to slot me in there to work for a while, while we're here so that we can have enough money to go home. That didn't really sound okay to me because I know money was not our problem at that point. He was doing very well at home and I had a very good job. So money was not really the problem, but he insisted he wanted to stay back so he can make some money. As a new wife, I had to obey him because I didn't really have any reason to doubt him at that point. So the sister or the cousin would come and pick him up on she always pick him up on Sunday evening. And when she comes, guys, you need to see the way this lady behaves. She won't even come to the place where she won't come inside. She'll be outside blowing her horn. Like, come out, let's go, let's go, let's go. She picks him up on Sundays at around 3 p.m. and then she drops him off on Saturday night around 11 p.m. Did you hear what I just said? She'll pick him up on Sunday evening around 3 p.m., sometimes even earlier than that. And then she will drop him back up on Sunday, the next week Sunday. She will drop him on Friday, the next week Friday, around 11 p.m. So I was just barely spending 5-6 hours with my husband for all that period of time. And it went on for like 2-3 months. I didn't really bother myself. I didn't really complain. I was just like, it's okay. It's all right. I'll wait until we're ready to go back. So this continued. And then suddenly he called me and said, my brother wants you to come over so we can have a meeting. And I was like, okay, when are you coming home? He said he won't be able to come home this weekend. I should just come. I said, no, let's put it to next week. When she drops you off next week, maybe I'll follow you on that Sunday for the meeting. And that was what we did. So we got to this meeting. I got to the brother's house and he said the meeting was not holding in his house, but the meeting will be holding in Maryland, in Harrisville. And I'm like, okay. So we all drove from there to Maryland. When we got to the house, it's a pretty big house, a house that was able to fit more than 50 people is pretty big. I mean, their living room was big and I just came in and I saw a lot of people. And because it was a Sunday, I thought maybe they're just there for get together and they're there for just sharing things together. I didn't know the meeting was because of me. So everybody sat down in this semi-circle kind of sitting, and I was at the last edge. I was at the edge of the chair and my husband was sitting right beside me. So they started the meeting. The oldest man in their family then, that man was in his late 60s at that time. He should be close to 80 now. But I've not seen him for 22 years. I've not seen them. So this elderly man, the oldest man, stood up and was like, oh, thank you very much for bringing our brother to America. Really appreciate your effort. Because, I got him the visa. Because I was affiliated with the American embassy. So getting a visa was nothing. So he was like, thank you for bringing our brother. We've been trying to bring him all this while, but we couldn't. So we really appreciate you bringing him. And then everybody was clapping and, talking to me. I was smiling and just trying to be nice to everybody. So he said, okay, well, we thank you, but the thing is that your marriage is going to be over today. Yeah, this man said my marriage was going to be over that day. And I couldn't put anything, I couldn't believe him. I was like, okay, maybe this is a joke. And he repeated himself. And I looked at my husband who was sitting right beside me. I was like, are you hearing your brother? Are you hearing what he's saying? And to my surprise, my husband just started drinking his life away. He was just pouring drinks in a cup. He would pour the cup and he would drink and he would pour more. He was just drinking and drinking. And this is a man that never drank. He was a deacon in the church when I met him in Togo. So we were Christians to the core. So I never saw him drink anything alcoholic. But that day, as soon as we got to that gathering, he started serving himself from the drinks that he presented. He was just drinking and drinking. I was like, why are you drinking? He just kept drinking, and it got to a point he became drunk. So I guess he tried to drink to numb himself from anything happening. So he was drunk. So at that point he was useless to me. So I was just talking to the people. I was like, what is going on? What did I do? What happened? They said, well, one, you are older than him, which is a lie. Guys, if I show you the picture of this man now, I am 57, by the way, almost 57, and he is 58, 59. If you see him now, you will see the difference in our age. So that day they said, oh, you are older than him, and you already have a child. Because I was married once. But you already have a child, so we feel it's a deception. I said, what are you talking about? Your brother asked me to marry him. He pursued me for more than a year before I could even let him talk to me about marriage. He pursued me before I could even let him into my house, to visit like he wanted to. He pursued me through my parents, because whenever my parents visited me in Togo, he would come and entertain them, take them out and things. And once he started talking to them about marriage, they felt like I should just marry him. And to me, he was a good person. So why wouldn't I marry somebody like that? And their story of him being older than me was so strange. But what do I do? What can I do? Or what could I have done at that point? So I was just asking them. I said, please, what is going on? I said, what is really going on? They said, well, we just told you the marriage is over. So we're going to be taking our brother from here to where we're going to situate him so he can get his green card and live his life. So we release you and we permit you to go on with your life. Whew. That was a big blow that day. I was just crying. I was crying and looking at my husband, who was useless. He was useless, totally useless. He was just drinking. So I went to the oldest woman there, a woman in her 60s too. And I knelt down. She was sitting. I knelt in front of her and I held onto her legs. I said, Mama, what is going on? What did they say I did? What did I do? She said, my dear, I don't have any say about this. The men have spoken, so you just have to leave. And that was when I started shouting and crying, calling on my mother. Mama, help me. What is this? And this old woman told me, said, your mother is millions of miles away and she cannot hear you. So just take hold of yourself and leave. I was still crying anyway. I was on the floor that time crying. That's what I told them. I said, look, I'm about 2 months pregnant. What do I do? They said, give the child to your father. That's a good thing. We heard your father don't have a lot of children. So give this child to your father, but you're not going to tie our brother up with any pregnancy. We're taking him today. I went back to the old woman. She said the same thing she said. And I was just crying and crying. And my husband's sister-in-law came to me and said, we're sorry for what is going on, but my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. So we're going for a baby shower. Do you want us to drop you off? I said yes. She said, okay, you know what? We can't even drop you off. You have to wait for the baby shower to end, and then we will drop you off after the baby shower. I said, okay. So they took me in their car and they drove me to the baby shower. And I didn't want to go in because I was looking horrible, crying for hours. I was just looking terrible. And I stayed in their car. Everybody knows how long it takes to have a baby shower. So they came back into the car and they took me back to where I lived. They dropped me off. My husband was not in that car. He had already gone with the people taking him to wherever they said they were taking him to. And I got back. I just went into the room and I was like, what just happened? And my husband's clothes were still in the closet. His things were still lying everywhere. He was able to take out some clothes without my knowledge, but most of the things were still there. So that kind of gave me a little bit of comfort. I said, okay, maybe he'll come back. But it was terrible. It was horrible. A few days later, I realized that I have some of my suitcase in their house in Baltimore, because they invited me to come stay there. So I had my suitcase with my clothes inside. So I called them and I said I wanted to come pick up my suitcase, and they told me, no, you can't touch anything. You can't even come into this house. Our brother, they stopped calling him my husband. Our brother will bring your clothes to you whenever he visits. And I said, no, I need those clothes. I need them. I need to wash them. And they refused. So, fortunately, or should I say unfortunately, my husband called like about 3 weeks later. And he was like, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry. Everything was under the influence of alcohol. I said, when did you even start drinking? What was the reason for that drink? What were you drinking that day? He said, no, I was just stressed. My brothers had said a lot to me and I didn't know how to face you, so that I just had to do that. I said, anyways, I want to go pick up my clothes from your brothers, and they said I can't come. So, are you coming this way? Can you bring my clothes to me? He said, okay, yes, I'll bring your clothes. So he went there and got the clothes together and told me he was there. I should go pick them up. So I went there and I was able to pick up my suitcases and I came back to my rented place. So like a couple of weeks later, he called me, he said, you know what, I'm really, really sorry for what I did. I feel so bad and I want us to just come back together, just forget whatever happened. I'm sorry. And when I come back this time, we're going to just stay on our own. No more connection with our family. We have nothing to do with them. We'll stay for the few weeks left and we'll go back. That sounded like a plan, a good one. So I accepted. So a few days later, he came back and he was all apologetic and so was like pleading and begging. And I believe that he was back for good. But few days after, he started telling me, oh, I want to go back to Togo to just go pick up some stuff and then talk to the boys and rearrange the business. And I said, no, we have like few weeks to go back. So why don't you go back at the same time? Okay, let's just go back now. If you feel like you need to go home, let's just go. Then I still have like maybe, we were there for this was like 3 months after we got there. So we still have like 3 months more on the visa. But it was a 3 years visa for me. He had 5 years business visa. So we had a lot of time. But just for that period of stay, we only have like 6 months. So I said, okay, when are you going? He said, I'm going next week. So next week came and the D-Day came. And the stupid thing I did then was I didn't even ask to show me his ticket or anything. I am this type of woman that doesn't really look at anything. I can be friends with a man. I can have a relationship and I will for 20 years and I will not touch the man's phone. Up to now, I don't touch anybody's phone. I don't touch phones. Even my children's phones. You know how parents will go into the children's phones and start looking and searching. I don't, because I don't want to see what will hurt me. So I don't search even my children's phones. So I don't ask a lot of questions either. And I'm saying this so that people will learn. I never asked questions. So immediately he said he was going home. I said, okay. I didn't ask, show me your ticket. I didn't say anything. So that day, he said his flight was in the afternoon, and then I had started going to somewhere in the mornings. I was bored at home, so I used to go to my friend's place. My friend had a braiding store. I used to go there and while away my time and also braid because I know how to braid. And I also had a small thing I was managing on the side. So I was going to go to work that day. So I said, "Do you want me to, just call off and see you to the airport?" He said, "No, no, 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 don't worry. If you miss the day's pay, is going to affect." He just gave one stupid excuse, which should have woken me up that day, but I took it as it's nothing. So I said, "Which suitcase do you want, and what do you want me to pack?" He said, "Just pack me one shirt, one pant, underwear, boxer, and maybe one singlet, and maybe a pair of shoes." I said, "Okay." That was what I did. I packed these things into the smallest suitcase in the house, and we bade ourselves goodbye, and I left for where I was going to. I came back in the evening, and once I opened the door, I knew something had happened. As soon as I opened the door, everything that belonged to him was gone. Gone. So what happened is that this man came back so he could pack his things. So I was so confused. I checked everything was gone. Down to flip-flops. Everything was gone. Toothbrush, everything gone. I said, okay. So, back then in 2002, making calls was not that easy. So you have to use a calling card and all that stuff. So I just waited for him to call me. So eventually, after a few days, he called me. And I said, "What happened? Why did you pack all your stuff?" He said, "Oh, I packed them because I felt like when I get to Togo, I'll just give them to people and come back. When I come back, I can buy more things before we come back and go back." And that sounded okay to me. Once again, ladies, men, learn. So it sounded okay to me. So I said, okay. And he stayed back for like a month, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I kept asking him. At a point during this time, I fell sick from that pregnancy. I fell very sick. And I was diagnosed, and I should say it's mixed diagnosis, but I was diagnosed then. The doctor told me I had cancer. So towards that time I was waiting for him, I fell ill, so I had to go to the doctor. And with this announcement, I decided to extend my visa so that I can at least take care of myself here before I went back home. So he telling me that he was going to stay back was not a problem to me. I told him about the problem I had, and he was like, "Everything is going to be okay. When I come back, we'll go back. Just make sure you take all your treatments so that everything will be fine." I said, okay. So I waited and waited. Towards the 7th month of my pregnancy, I became very, very sick again. And I went back to the doctor again. And it was the same thing. It was at that point they were telling me, "Ma'am, do you have any family here who can keep this baby for you? Because it seems that you're going to be going to the hospital for treatment after the baby is born. So start to make arrangements because we don't think you can take care of the baby with the treatment and everything." So I went back to these people that I used to live with because by then I had left their house. That's a story for another day. I had moved out from that place, but I still kept in touch. So I called them and I said, "This is what is going on. I need someone to help me. Can you help me?" She said, "Oh, no, she can't." And I started asking everybody that I knew. I'm new in America. I was new, so I didn't know much people. It got to a point I started going to the African store. I would stand at the door and I would see random couple. My target then was elderly people. I'll see elderly people and I'll go to them and I'll tell them my story. My husband is gone back and I'm sick. I'm going to be delivering this baby soon, and this is what the doctors are suggesting. I'm just looking for a Nigerian couple who can hold on to this baby. Excuse me. And the question everybody always asked was, "Where is your husband?" And I told him he went home. He'll soon be back, but I don't know when he's going to be back. It's like I'm almost due. He's not here, so I'm trying to make plans in case I give birth before he comes back. Nobody was willing to help me. One day I was braiding a lady's hair, and she said, "Oh, I have this flyer to share," because she knew I was a new person in America and I may need immigration, immigration, whatever. So she said, "Oh, there's this flyer. This is a lawyer. He's an immigration lawyer. In case you have immigration problem, he's a very good person. Blah blah blah." And they gave me a flyer. When I looked at the flyer, it was a Nigerian man, and the everything written about him seemed okay. I said, "Okay, let me just go and do the extension." So that was what took me to this Nigerian lawyer. And when I got there, I paid him. I used to say in my former story that it was $650, but I saw the check. Then those days when you pay somebody with check, the check will come back to you. So I saw the check a few weeks ago when I was cleaning up, and the check is I think it was for 300, but I paid him 150. That was the check I saw, and then I couldn't find the second check, so I made two payments because I paid him 150 that day, and I told him I was going to balance up in 2 weeks, and it was okay with him. And after 2 weeks, I paid him. So after my extension came through, this man suddenly showed up in my house one evening around 7:30 p.m. Somebody knocked. I was renting this house from a Chinese man. We were like 5 tenants in there. I was the only woman, and most of the men go to work at night. So most of the evenings I'm alone in the house. So I heard the doorbell. I went to look at the door and I saw him standing. I couldn't recognize him because this was like after over 3 months of doing my extension. So I couldn't recognize who it was. And then he said, "Oh, you don't remember me?" I said, "Oh yes, I remember you now. How are you, sir?" And we exchanged pleasantries, and he came into the house. We talked, and I was like, "How did you even know here?" He said, "Oh, you forgot that I did your extension, so I know your address." And that was a red flag. I should have just cut this man off at that point, because how would you just visit someone without even calling the person that you're coming? But anyways, being me, I accepted it. I just let it go, and he spent few minutes, I think about 45 minutes or an hour. We had a long chat. We just talked about everything, and he left. That was the first visit. After that, we started talking on the phone, and when this pressure from my doctors became much, I decided to confide in him. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't even know you're pregnant," because then nobody would know I was pregnant. I was just, you would just think I'm just like that. I'm just big. So, "Oh, I didn't know." I say, "Yes, I'm pregnant, and I'm married, and this and this and this." "Oh, I didn't know. I say, "Yes. But this is the situation I'm in right now. I need a Nigerian couple that can help me take care of my baby. I've been looking for people, but I don't know much people. So since you've been here for a long time, can you find someone that can help me when I have the baby, so the baby can stay with them until I'm back from the hospital for my treatment?" I said, "Okay, I'll look around for it." And some weeks later, he called me, and he was like, "First of all, let me ask you about your husband. Do you have his passport number?" I said yes, and I gave him over the phone. And he called me back few days later, and he was like, "Your husband never traveled to Nigeria or Togo. Your husband is still here in the US." And he gave me the address of where my husband was staying. He gave me the telephone number, and I was asked, I said, "How did you know all this?" He said, "Because after you told me your story, I had to research, and this is what I found out." And I'm like, "Okay." So he said, "If you don't mind, maybe one of these days, if you can come to the office, we'll put a call through to him, and let's see what he has to say." And I didn't know what this man was doing at this time. This man was trying to secure the bag. He was trying to make sure that my husband was really out of my life. He was trying to make sure that, he could, manipulate and, just get into me without my suspicion. So, I went to his office few days down the line, like a day or two down the line, because I was eager to find out these things. So we put a call through to my husband, through the number he provided, and true to the fact, my husband picked up the phone. It was his voice, no doubt about that. And he said, "We're looking for so and so person. Is this so and so person?" And immediately he changed his voice. "No, that's not him. That's not him." And that was when I chipped in. I said, "Is that not you?" I said, "Is that the Togo you're supposed to be in?" I said, "What is really going on? Why are you still in America? And where are you?" And he quickly turned off the phone. He hung up. We tried calling back. He never picked up again. You know why he didn't want to talk? Because his family already linked him up with a lady who was going to do his immigration stuff. So he didn't want any connection again with me whatsoever. He didn't want to talk to me or anything. So that's why he quickly turned off the phone, tried to disconnect from me. So I kept calling that number, he would not pick up. He would not pick up. At the point, the number went dead. So which means he changed the number. So when this man now realized that I really have no husband, I was by myself, he wrote me a letter, a very lengthy letter, telling me how bad he feels, how it's not good, how what the man did was bad, how I should be very careful, how I should mind myself, that he's going to be there for me like a big brother. He's going to always make sure I'm fine. I should just take care of myself so that I don't get more sick. Very nice letter. And he signed your brother, your friend. I think he said your friend or your brother. And that letter was very consoling to me at that point. So a few days after that letter, he now called me and said, "Oh, by the way, I got my sister and she's ready to help you." So he said, "By the way, I got my sister, I told her about you, and she's ready to help you." So he passed the phone to the sister. They were there together, obviously, because the woman came on the line immediately. He was like, "Oh, how are you? How are you doing? God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Oh God, wonderful, wonderful. I was just shocked hearing about you. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Listen, I'm going to be your sister. I'm going to be there for you. I will take care of the baby. Whenever you're back, I will give you back the baby." I just felt so sorry. So sorry that you're going through this. What else can suit a woman hurting? So her voice was so soothing that night. She sounded so good that I just fell in love with her. And this is how I started talking with this woman. Not almost. We were talking every night. She would come back from work and call me. "Oh, I just came back from work." And we'd talk for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It became a ritual. It became an expectation for me every evening. So whenever she comes back, she will call me. And each time she calls, this woman will pray and speak in tongues. I'm not talking about la 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 ba ba ba. I mean the chronic tongue speaking, the conk one, that one that pastors will speak, and you will feel like they are talking to God. And what else would that do? What else would a woman want at this point? So I fell in love with her, like I said, and we went on like that. And this friendship or sisterhood lasted a month, because I gave birth the next month. And she was the first person I called when I got to the hospital. I took the ambulance to the hospital. So I called her when I got there. Or before the ambulance came, I called. I said, "Yeah, I'm in labor. I've called the ambulance. I'm going to the hospital." "Oh, which hospital?" I told her where I was going to. And I got there. Not up to 20 minutes, she appeared with a lawyer. Guys, I didn't really think anything at that point. The only thing I told the doctors was that I don't want them in the labor room with me. So they just came to talk to me briefly and they went out. And I thought they had gone home. So, excuse me, after my delivery and cleanup, I was shocked that they were still there. So the nurses ushered them in. I was, kind of grateful that somebody can be there waiting for me for that long. So they came that night and they left. The second night, they called on the phone, and I was supposed to be. My daughter was born March 9th, 2003. So on the 10th of March, very late at night, she called me. And she said, "Oh, I'm coming to pick up the baby tomorrow." I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, let me just tell you the rules. First of all, when I come, don't talk too much. Just answer a few questions. Answer a few questions from him. Say, no, don't talk too much to the doctors. Don't say too much. Make sure you're not talking to any doctor, because if they find out that someone else is coming to pick your baby, they may decide to give the baby to the government, and you don't want the baby to go to the social services. So just don't talk too much. Don't say anything to the doctor. Make sure you don't tell them that anybody is coming. So when we come, we just come and pick up the baby. And let me also let you know that I wouldn't be able to do this if we don't have any legal backing." And I was like, "Legal what?" Because I remember we verbally talked about this, and I said, "I don't want any legal thing. I don't want anything that will tie me. I just want you to take care of this baby. When it's time for me, I'll still have my rights. I'll take my baby." And she agreed. But that night, before she came to pick up the baby, she changed everything. She said she's no longer coming to pick the baby, except I signed something. So reluctantly, I said, "Okay, I can do legal guardianship for a few weeks until I get someone to help me." She said, "Okay." So that next morning was a mixed feeling for me. I would look at my baby, and she would look up to me. I was just, how you feel like you're going to give your 3 days old baby out. So I cried all through the night, and the nurses were asking me what the problem was, and I kept, telling them it's because my husband abandoned me. But my main problem was that I was going to miss my child. So the nurses were like, "Okay, so are you sure you're going to be able to take care of the baby?" I said, "Yeah, I have family that will take care of the baby. Don't worry about that." Because they all knew I was going to go for treatment. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So that morning, they came, I think around 11 a.m. And I was just numb. They came in with a white lady who they introduced to me to be the lawyer they hired for me. I was still scared. I was still speechless. I tried to hold my baby as much as I could that morning. So I was just holding on to my baby, trying to talk to her, trying to tell her that I'm going to, just talking to her mother to daughter. But it was in a very quiet way. Nobody was hearing us. So the lady was like, "Okay, can we go on with the business of the day? Ma'am, do you know what you're going to be signing?" And this evil lady and the husband, I told you they already briefed me. So when she asked that question, she was like, the lady, the nurse, the lawyer was sitting at the edge of my bed talking to me, and they were standing like close to her, and she would give me sign like, don't talk, or say something. So they were giving me signs of what to say when these people ask me questions. So as soon as the lawyer asked me, "Do you know what you're going to be signing?" She went. I said yes, and truly I meant yes, because I was thinking that I was signing legal guardianship. So I said yes, and the lady said, "Okay, so you want to read?" And I said, "No, I know what I'm signing already, and I don't know why I did that." So that's why I'm telling the story, for people to learn from the mistakes that I made, and because I trusted these people. A whole month of praying in tongues was it for me, so I didn't have any reason to doubt her. So this lawyer kept opening the pages, and I was on my bed signing. She will open, sign here, and I'll sign. She will open, sign here, and I'll sign. And that's how I signed all the documents. And the attorney got up and left immediately. So it was 3 of us. So I remember telling them, "Okay, when I come back, I'll call you." All the arrangement, we made all the verbal arrangements there. And they said, "You hold on to this baby, because when you have a baby in America, They'll wheel you out with the baby in your arms. You're not supposed to walk outside. They'll wheel you to the car park and wait until you get in a car. So they wheeled me out and they followed me. So the nurses wheeled me out. I entered one of the cars that they brought, and then she took the baby and put in her car. So there was no way I could think that these people were together, because the man was the one that put my bag in his car, and he drove me down to my house, and the lady drove the baby to her house. So when we got home, I'm going to say this here. I already said it in all my stories. I'm going to say this here, that all that I'm telling you today will be the truth, the whole truth, and so help me God. I will never lie to you. Whatever I say here is the truth. So this man came and he left immediately. He didn't even come into my house, because this particular incident became a story that I'll tell you later on. This man did not even come in. He was in a hurry, and I was wondering why he was in such a hurry. And he said, "Oh, I have to go. The basket, I have some things in the car that I need to give to my sister. The basket for bathing the baby is in the trunk. So I want to go give it to my sister so they can give the baby a good bath." I said, "Okay," and left. And few weeks later, like a week later, I started going for the real tests to find out what really was wrong with me. And that was when they ran all the tests again, and they discovered it was not cancer, but I have liver problem. So that was the only thing they had to work on, just working on my liver. So I was so excited, and this was like 3 weeks after the baby was with them. So after that excitement, I got home, and she was the first person I called. Mind you, at this point, the lawyer, my immigration attorney, stopped talking to me. And that was okay by me, because, I really have nothing with him, so I didn't suspect anything. So this lady, I called this lady. I said, "Oh, thank God. I am back from the hospital, and the news is wonderful. The doctor said I don't have cancer, but I have liver problem, and they're just going to treat it. It's not a big deal." You say, "Oh." I felt there was no excitement in her voice. I did not hear "praise God." I did not hear "hallelujah." I did not hear "oh, thank God." All I heard was "oh." So I became scared. So I dropped the phone, and I was thinking, I said, what type of I called back in about 2 hours. I said, "Did you hear what I said?" I said, "Please, can you bring the baby back to me?" That was when she started saying, "I'm washing. When I finish, I'm doing this." She started giving me excuses. And this was from that almost 12 p.m., 12 noon till about 3 p.m. She was still telling me stories. And by this time, I had made like more than 10 calls. So at that point, I decided to look for the card of the attorney, because she gave me a card that day. And I called her, and I said, "This is Miss Ejoma. This is what happened. I'm back from the hospital, and these people refused to bring my baby to me." I didn't say people. I said, "This lady refused to bring my baby." He said, "Oh, Miss Ejoma, that was adoption you did." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes, that was adoption. You did adoption." He said, "By the way, it's just 28 days. Adoption will be cancelled after 30 days. So you still have 2 days. So come right into my office, and we're going to revoke it." So I didn't even know how I got there. I just knew I called my neighbor who had a car. I said, "Please take me." And he took me there. I got there. And the lawyer was like, "You didn't know?" I said, "No, I didn't know." She said, "Okay." She gave me all the documents for revocation, and I revoked immediately. And I went home. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I was not seeing these people. I called the lawyer's cell phone, because she gave me a cell phone number that in case she leaves the office and I still need to reach her, I should call the cell phone. So I called her cell phone. I said, "They've not brought the baby to me." She said, "No, they can't do that." He said, "If they don't bring that baby, I'll call the police on them." That baby will be in your house before 12 midnight, I promise you. So I guess she called them back. And these people did not come at 12. I was trying to call the attorney back when they called me to say they are on their way. And this was like exactly 12. So they wanted to buy more time. They said we are on our way. And it took them another 2 hours to get to me. Excuse me. When they got into my house, I was shocked to see both of them. But I didn't mind. The attorney was the one carrying the child in the car seat, and the lady just came after him. So he dropped the baby in the middle of the room and just left the room. So I was there alone with the baby and the woman. And the first thing he said was, "Don't you see that you are still sick? You think I'll eat your child? Do you think I'll eat your child? You are very ungrateful. You searched all around, you couldn't get people to help you, and I volunteered to help you, and this is how you thank me to go and report me, trying to mess up my license." She was saying so many things. I said, "I'm sorry. I came back, and when I called you, you didn't respond. So that's why I had to call the attorney." She blasted me, saying all kinds of things. "You're still sick. You're still sick. Look, I'm your sister. Let me just care for this baby. Let me care for this baby. You go and take care of yourself. You're sick. You're very sick. Do you know I'm a nurse? I'm a registered nurse. Do you know what liver problem is? You cannot. Some days you'll be weak. Some days you'll be tired. Some days, she was saying all kinds of things. And at the end of the day, I cried and I listened to her. And foolishly, I let her take the baby. But at least I knew at that point that it was still revoked. A few days, she said, "I want to visit." And she came. And that was when she was talking about immigration on me. You remember you don't have any immigration status. You remember this because by then my papers was already elapsing. So I had also contracted this same lawyer to extend it more for me. But that day, as soon as I told him about the extension, he told me that he couldn't do it. I said, "Why?" He said he doesn't work in that office anymore. But you know what I found out? I found out that he didn't want to be my lawyer anymore because of the reason I'll tell you later on down the line. So he did not help me to extend it. And I was sick, so I couldn't go to extend it. So when this lady was talking about immigration, I was so scared. She said, "They will take this baby from you and you will never see this baby and you will be deported and you will never put your feet in America. Once you are deported from this country, you can no longer come in. So why don't you just let me take care of this baby so that..." And as she was talking, she brought out adoption papers right there in my room. "You have to resign this whole thing." And I did. And I remember crying all day that day. But after 2-3 weeks, I couldn't hold it anymore. I called the attorney again. The attorney was so mad. Excuse me. The attorney was so mad. And she said, "Dorothy, are you being threatened?" I said, "No. What's the problem?" I couldn't talk. I said, "Nothing." But okay, you're an adult, so you do what you want. So I told her that day, I said, "I want to revoke it again." She said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." So we did this revocation process all over again, and she called them to return the baby, and this was exactly 3 weeks. So I still have like a week before the annulment. And they brought the baby again, the same thing. The man dropped the baby and left, and me and the lady started talking. And we're talking and talking. She was talking and swearing and shouting and making noise and threatening me. Immigration will come in and they will take this baby. You're staying in this one room. You don't even have a job. You don't have money. And she took the baby from me. This particular evening, because I said I wasn't going to lie to you. This particular evening, she stared at me with her eyeballs bulging. Stared at me like this, like, you have to sign this paper. And guys, I signed the papers again, and she took the baby and left. So after she left, my friends were like, what is going on? Where is your baby? And they were all concerned for me. So I said, my friends were all concerned, and they were asking about the baby, and it was at that point that I opened up to few of them. And they were like, what? Few weeks down the line, I think my baby was like 2 months old then. My friend called me and said, look what I just discovered. I said, what? He said, my auntie, my cousin took me to a party yesterday, naming ceremony. And guess who I saw? And guess what they were doing? I said, what? Talk. Excuse me. She said, your lawyer. Because she's my friend. She knew everything about that lawyer. I think she met him one time when in the hospital, yeah. When she came to see me, they came that day, so she knew him. So I introduced him as my lawyer. He said, when I got to the party, it was your lawyer and that woman that were doing naming ceremony. Do you know those people were married? Do you know they've been married for 16 years without an issue? Did you know that? I said, no, I didn't know they were married. She said they're relative. That the man is his sister, brother. She said, no, that's not the brother, that's the husband. That was where the whole story changed, and I started going from place to place to report them. I went to all the Nigerian meetings. I went to anywhere I could see. I became crazy because at this point, adoption was over. Because I didn't tell you, once she took that baby from me, I relapsed again. I became terribly sick. So by the time I came back from the hospital was that time that they were doing their so-called naming ceremony. And by then, adoption was over with, I think, about 2 weeks over. It was more than 30 days, about 40 days that time. So, I was going everywhere to try to tell people what happened. Someone referred me to the ambassador, told me to go to the Nigerian ambassador, Professor Obiozo. And I went to him. I explained the whole thing to him. He said, oh no, that's not good. I'll call him. I know him. I'll call him. And the next day, the ambassador called me and told me that I've spoken to him and he's so reluctant. He doesn't want to do anything. I've talked to him. Go ahead and do other things you can do. But later I found out that they were good friends. So there's no way, I don't think he talked to him, or maybe they talked and he lied, and I don't know. The man is late, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I mean, the ambassador is late, so I'm not going to be saying anything bad about him. So that was how my battle started. I kept going from place to place. I contacted a lot of people. And because the adoption was closed at that point, it became very, very hard. I went back to the courthouse. I complained to the judge, and the judge wrote me and said, you revoked the adoption twice, so you knew what you were doing. And if you think this adoption is wrong, you get a lawyer. At that point, I became weak. So I was just talking, begging everybody to help me. But these people will not budge. My baby turned 7 months, and this man suddenly called me one day. He said, can we talk? Can we come and talk about the baby? We want to talk because we see you are reporting us everywhere. So let's just have this talk and put things straight. I said, okay. Before then, the wife came, and that was the day she came alone, and I confronted her about lying to me. She apologized and said, you know what, I'm going to give you a pendant. She brought out this pendant. It's a heart-shaped pendant with, it's like cut into, like split into two. One part says mother, the other part says daughter. So she broke the pendant into two and gave me the mother part and kept the daughter part. And she promised me that this is going to be like a covenant between us, that since the adoption is closed and there's nothing you can do, this is just promising you that you will forever be able to see your child. I said, no, that's not what I want. I want to be in her life. I said, please, I promise you I'm not going to take her away, but just let me have close relationship with her. Bring her to me. Let her grow with me. At least on weekends, let her come. Instead of taking her to the babysitter, bring her to me. I'll take care of her. And she promised and left. So when the husband called me, when the baby turned 7 months, and told me they were coming back, I thought they were coming back to talk about this whole thing again. So that night I waited 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 12 o'clock. He told me, oh, I'm outside. I'm like, you're outside? He said, yeah. So what about your wife? Oh, she couldn't make it, but it's going to be a brief meeting. I'm just going to talk and then we'll go. That's okay. He came in, and you remember I told you the house I rented with 5 people. It's a Chinese man that owned the house. He had a Chinese restaurant in Baltimore, so he stays in the house only on Monday mornings. He come back on Sunday night, spend Monday, and then goes back on Monday night. So he's not there all the time, and the other 5 men work around the clock. So I was alone in that house that day. So he came, I opened the door. We went inside my room, and then we sat down. That room only had my bed and a TV stand where I placed this TV on. I have a small TV that I watch. So it was just that bed and the TV stand. So there was no other option than for him to sit on my bed. So he sat near my bed. We're not sitting close because I was still very cautious of myself. And then we start talking. And excuse me, I asked him, how is my baby? How is everything? And we were just talking. The next thing I knew, this man just pushed me down and used his hand to pin me down on my bed. And before I could say, Jack Robinson, this man raped me in my room. Yeah, he raped me in my room and he left. He just stood up and was, I'm sorry, that's not the plan. I didn't plan to do this. I just wanted us to talk. I don't know what came over me. I'm sorry. And he jumped out. The next thing I heard was his car drive off. I buried my head in shame, in pain. I was disgusted. I felt disgusted. I went and cleaned myself. I took shower, cleaned myself up. I was just irritated. And that was the greatest mistake I made. That night, had I reported that rape, I would have gotten my child back immediately. But my mind was numb. I didn't think. All I felt was just pain and anger, anguish and numbness. I took the shower, I came back and I just lay down, went back to sleep. I woke up in the morning and I was trying to think if it was a dream or something, but it was not a dream. And anger made me not to even call this man. At this point, I don't know what I would call the feeling that I had. I even stopped calling the woman too. I was just like, back. Because then I was working at this gas station. And that was the last week on the gas station anyway. I started working in a preschool. And this preschool promised to file my papers for me. That was the catch for me. So I went to them and I started working there. I worked for like a month or two when I noticed that I was pregnant. I didn't know what to say at that point. So I called this man in anger. I was like, what have you done with me? Why did you do this? That was the only time I'll talk to him that time. And I was so angry. He was apologizing. I said, this is not a matter of... I said, what am I going to do? And I got so angry, I hung up. Just hung up on him. And I started researching on what to do. Because I didn't want to carry any pregnancy again. Not for this particular person. I wanted to be strong to fight for my child. So I went searching for how I could have abortion carried out. And that was a big deal for me because I was supposed to be a Christian. But I thought about the whole thing. I said, that's the only way out. How am I going to explain to the world that I'm pregnant? For who? So I researched and I got this place. Planned Parenthood office in Bowie. And I called them, made an appointment, and went there. And they were willing to help. So they referred me to where I was going to actually carry out the abortion. That day came. I drove myself to the place. And as I was driving, then I bought one old car that I was using for my job, for going to work. So I drove down to the place. And when I got to the street, I did not know that it was a one-way. I had to go around the street to the next street and come from the back into the hospital. So I drove straight into the street. And before I could drive for a minute, a police car was right behind me. And he pulled me over and searched the car and everything. Then I found out that my car was registered with 2 plate numbers. You know, that is to tell you how mentally, I won't say, I was really going through a lot then. So I wasn't really thinking right. I gave this car to a Nigerian car dealer to make the tags, because that's what happens. That's what people do in those days. And he put this tag, one tag in the front and a different tag at the back. So my car had 2 plate numbers. I didn't even know. And because it was a new car, I just bought it like a month, or not even up to a month. So I didn't check anything. So the police said because of that, they were going to impound the car. And the man impounded my car. So I stood there with my bags and everything. And my spirit said, if this is not God, tell me who it is. Just turn around and go home. God will take care of you. And like a zombie, I turned around. I didn't even go to the hospital. I just turned around and I went home. On my way home, they started calling me. I said, I'm not coming back. I said, I'm not interested anymore. Please cancel the appointment. So I got home and I started thinking and crying with what I needed to do. I was like thinking of what to do. And my spirit told me, you don't have to do anything. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just take care of yourself. So at the 4th month of that pregnancy, and mind you, I was still dealing with my liver problem. So you can understand how my doctors felt when they noticed I was pregnant. They talked to me like I was a carefree woman. They all talked to me like I was a non-entity. They were just, not in a bad, not that they were cussing me out, but they were just telling me why I shouldn't have gotten pregnant. And they were all still talking about abortion. And I told them I'm willing to take my chances, but I won't do any abortion. So at that point, that was the very time that they found out that I was not only carrying 1 child, but 2. So they, at the point that when they found that I was going to have 2 children, the suggestions became more. Ma'am, do you think this is the right thing to do? You still have time to do the abortion. There's still time for you to do it up to so and so weeks. You can still do it at this time. It's It's not a big deal at this time. Once it crosses this month, this particular month is going to be over. Are you willing to go around the whole stress you went through with no father, nothing? Mind you, I didn't tell them about the rape, but of course they knew I was alone because they asked me if there was a man in my life. I said no. So that was why they scolded me so badly. So I went on with this pregnancy. It was at that point I called this man again, the attorney. That was my 4th month of pregnancy. And I said, let me go back. When my baby turned 1, this lady all of a sudden called me and said, you want to come for the party? We're having a party for her. Can you come? And I jumped. I said, yes, I will go. So I went to that party, not talking to the man, at that point. Anybody who can remember me from that day that I came to the party, because I know some people will remember that day, some of their friends watching me. I came into that party, I didn't speak to anybody. She came to the door to welcome me. Oh, and people were asking, now who is this? Who is this? Oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. And I didn't even say anything to her. I just brought in the gift that I bought for my baby, gave it to them, and I was just sitting. And I sat for, I was not there for long. I was there maybe for 30 minutes because they won't even let me touch my baby. I was just there for like few minutes and I left. And when I left, this man kept calling me. I mean, the husband, I didn't pick up the call. Getting close to the house, he called again and I told him, stop calling me, and I hung up. So 2 weeks after, I told myself, I said, am I just going to let this man go scot-free? I want to give him the peace of my mind. So I called him myself. And I gave him all kinds of curses. And I said, it will not be well with you. For doing what you did to me, God will judge you. I said so many things. And he said, no, you don't have to curse. There's no problem. Since it's a boy and a girl, just give me the boy and keep the girl. So that the burden will not be too much on you. Give me the boy and keep the girl. Guys, my head turned inside out at that point and I gave him more curses. And I hung up. And that was it. I didn't really feel like seeing. So like I said, I was upset. So I just stayed by myself. And when he suggested he wanted a boy, I blasted him some more. And that was how I cut off every relationship. From him, his wife, I just cut them off. But I was still talking about my child. And nobody knew who was responsible for the pregnancy I carried while I was still talking. I had my baby and my babies October 26, 2004. So you can do the math. So no calls from anybody. I just took care of myself and my babies. 7 days after they were born. At this time, my visa had elapsed. So I didn't even try to do anything on it again. So because this job had promised to, file for me, I felt at ease. So I didn't work. I told them I couldn't come to work for 2 years because I couldn't afford the daycare money. And I didn't want to put my children in daycare. I didn't have the money for that. So I decided to concentrate on the braiding. So I would go to the braiding store and make little change. So I took my children to the braiding store the 7th day they were born. I laid them on a blanket near me and I started braiding. And this made some customers really upset. They were like, no, you can't do this. Please go home. Take these babies home. Take them home. So I managed to go back home. And I stayed for a few weeks. For a few weeks. Because I have to pay my rent. I have to do things. So I stayed for a few weeks and I went back to braiding. At that point, I found an old woman who would care for them while I go braiding. So I was using her. So I kept taking care of my baby until my baby is turned 1. At that point, everybody was concerned because they felt like this man. At that point, I opened up to my pastor, told him who the man was. So my pastor was so upset. He said, "No, this man cannot be living large, and then you're suffering," because the church was literally taking care of me then. So he said, "You can't. This man is living large. He's wealthy. Why can't you take him for child support?" I said, "No, I don't want it." They said, "No, you have to go for child support. It's either you go for child support or we'll stop helping." So I'm sorry. I took the flu shot and it's affecting me. So the pastor took me to the social services and I applied for child support. And when we started going to court for child support hearing, war began. This lady will call me. I guess that point she just wanted to torment me because she knows about these children. Because let me take you back. The day the man suggested I should give him the boy and keep the girl, I told him, I said, "Okay, can you tell your wife? If your wife agrees with me, then I'll let you have the child." And he told me later, "My wife is interested." That was when I blasted him. I said, "So your wife sent you?" Because this woman is a very possessive woman. She's very, very controlling. She doesn't leave her husband 1 inch. So for her to leave him to come that night, they knew what they planned. They knew their plan. They knew that, oh, she just had a baby, she's fertile, let's go try our luck. That was what happened. So let me go back to the child support issue. When I filed for child support, this man became upset. He would come to my house and bang at the door. He would scream at me. He would do all kinds of things. And I took him for restraining orders. In total, I took this man to about 17 restraining orders here in America. And I didn't get one. You know why? He was an attorney. He had a political position. And he was friends with most of the judges. So I never got any restraining order. Quote me anywhere, the records are there. I never got one against him. Because his wife will come to the court and testify, "Oh, he's a good husband, he never touched me, he never beat me. I don't know where she's getting that from. She's a newswoman who got pregnant with my husband, got pregnant for my husband in hope that my husband will marry her. And now my husband decided he doesn't want 2 wives. She's angry." And judges will blast me and say all kinds of things, call me names, tell me I'm very careless and callous. I just want to make a good man look bad. Guys, this is, I should say, it should be on record in the courthouse because I know they record all their court hearings. If they go back to 2014 up until 2012, they will see me going back and forth in the courtroom for restraining order or for child support hearing. We did this and this man refused to pay for child support until child support accumulated to $47,000. So to enforce it, they decided to, give him a warning letter that they were going to put a lien on his house or they're going to sell his house and get the money for the children. He came back again and told me you're going to make me disappear from the face of America. He's going to do this. And out of fear, I ran back to the courthouse, but they will not protect me. So I went to the court. I canceled child support. And I took my children, packed my bag and baggages. I told my job. They were able to transfer me to Kansas, to a school, to one of their branches in Kansas. And I left Maryland, took my children and disappeared to Maryland just to save them. I was there for a few years and it became so hard for me because there, the area I lived in, what do they call it? Overland Park and Shawnee. I live in Shawnee too, but Overland Park was where I worked and lived for a short time. So that area is all white neighborhood. So there was no African store to go to. The only African store then was in Missouri. So I used to drive like almost 2 hours because I lived close to the border of Missouri and Kansas City. So I used to drive like almost more than an hour to go to grocery shop. And when I go to the African store, their plantain is always black, their oil is always frozen. Food is, it's not fresh at all. So sometimes you end up buying things that you would not even eat. So after 2 years of struggling like that, and with the cold, I was in Kansas, with their tornado their tornado warnings and tornado all the time, I decided to just come back. So I contacted my job again, and they transferred me back to Maryland. So when I came back, I just, piped low. I didn't talk to them. I didn't say anything. I just decided to be quiet and calm. Up until 2018, 19, I felt like, no, if I keep quiet, my child will be gone. Let me at least come online and talk about my child. So I came online and I started talking about my child. And once I started talking about my child, these people came for me. They took me to court for harassment. Instead of taking me to court for defamation of character, they took me to court for harassment. And in Maryland, harassment is a criminal offense. And because at that point I was running my own daycare, so I, being a child care provider, will be affected by having a harassment judgment on me. That will cost me my license. So I decided to, plead guilty just for peace to reign. And I promised the judge that I would not mention their names again. And that's why you will never catch me mentioning their names in this new version of telling my story. So I kept going online from 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. In 2023, I started hearing so many stories about sexual harassment on my child. At a point, I saw her in a dream. She came and stood in the corner of my room, was crying. I walked up to her, said, "Mama, what is it?" And she said, "They are harassing me. They're sexually harassing me." She used the word "they." And I woke up in anger. And I called the social services. This was in 2023. That was the first time I called them. And I told them that I needed them to go for a welfare check at so and so place. That I have my adopted child there, and I feel that she's being molested. I want them to go for a welfare check. At least go and interview her. The first thing they said was, "Ma'am, we can't take you serious because you said you had a dream." And that was my mistake. And I take that blame. So they wouldn't look into the case. After that, I called them again a few months later. And at this time, I did not say I had a dream. I just pleaded with them to go. And the lady said somebody will be sent out. It did not occur to me to call the police. If I had known, going through this whole thing made me, sometimes I don't really, how would I say it? I don't really do things the way I normally do things. I am kind of scared and, shy of doing anything. And that's why you will not catch me in any Nigerian party. A lot of invitations come. I don't go. I rather send them a gift in the mail, because this whole thing made me to have low self-esteem. I felt like I was a failure because these people were telling everybody that they paid me $50,000, and that the other version of the story is that the child was their offspring that I helped them to carry. So I was a surrogate mother. So, and people hearing all this would always attack me whenever I talk. So because of that, I always stay on my own. It came to a time that I even stopped enrolling Nigerian children into my daycare. And that's not racism. But I did it because I didn't want to talk to any Nigerian, because most of them know me. After that incident of me going everywhere and me talking on the internet, people know me, they'll see me and they recognize me. And most of them will blast me. Most of them will insult me. So after collecting 50,000, you still want to talk. You know, all kinds of mess. So at that point, I became withdrawn, even up to date. But I'm trying to get out of my shell. So 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, I made that report. 24, I heard that they took my daughter to Nigeria. And I was really, really upset. I was really upset. So I made a video asking them why they should take my child to Nigeria. I didn't mention their name. I just talked about them taking my child to Nigeria. So when I heard they took my child to Nigeria, I was upset. So almost a year later, into 2025, just exactly a year later, into 2025, they sent 2 people to my house. I mean, this heartless couple sent 2 people to my house on the 21st of August 2025, this year. And these people came, they were at the door. I saw them in the camera. I'm like, who are these people? They came around 7 o'clock in the evening. So I was done for the day. I was already in my bed. And I saw them and I came down and I opened the door. Like, who are you? What do you want? And they introduced themselves and said they wanted to come in. I resisted, but eventually they came in because they mentioned my daughter's name. So I thought they were coming to talk to me about her. Because my joy that time was that I was beginning to hear from people that your daughter has seen your videos and she's coming back to you. So I was really excited. Anytime I see people I want to rush out to see if she sent them or if she came or something like that. So when they got to the door and they said, we're here because of so and so person, I looked at the car that they came with. Is she in the car? Is she here? They said, no, we need to talk to you about her. I came inside with them. They sat down. And that was when they broke the news to me that my daughter had passed. They told me that my child that I've been fighting for all this while was no more. I cried, I screamed, I was all over the place, I was jumping everywhere in this living room, I was shouting, crying. Luckily for me, my daughter was one of my twins. My daughter was at home that day from college. So she heard me screaming, she ran downstairs and she faced them. What did you do to my mom? What did you tell my mom? What did you tell my mom? And they stupidly broke the same news to her and she broke down too, because we have all been looking forward to seeing her. We have a picture right there. We have a picture all over the place, but the biggest one is over there. I'm going to show it maybe later. Big frame. So if you're coming into my house, you'll see it first. It's right there at the entrance going up the stairs. So we've always yearned to see her. So coming that day to break that news was the worst day of our lives. These people came and I said, how did my daughter go? Oh, they found her unresponsive in the house. And they left. 2 days later, they called me back and said, by the way, we want to have a funeral for her and we don't want you to come to the funeral We're not expecting you in the funeral. Please don't show up in the funeral. The father said, we can allow you to come see her corpse in the morgue, but we don't want you in the funeral. Said, okay. So they left. So on that funeral day, I went. My mind was just to go and just sit quietly and watch them, watch my child, or at least I didn't want to go and see my child like that. But I couldn't hold myself. What would I be doing at home? So I went, excuse me. I went with a friend of mine because she insisted on coming with me. And then one other friend went to the funeral place because they didn't know her. So she was free. He was free to go in. First of all, they made a flyer for the funeral. You need to see that flyer. Not even a flyer, they made it on the phone and sent it digitally to all their friends. And that burial announcement did not have their names. They just put the viewing of so and so person will be on so and so day. The interment will be at so and so place, after burial at so and so place. That was good. This man and his wife did not even put their names on that flyer. So, we were still driving to the funeral place. You can imagine how crazy I would look that day. On our way going, we got a call from that friend of mine who was inside. He said, please don't come. These people have a police outside the door, and I'm sure they're waiting to get you. They're waiting to arrest you. I'm sure they have gone to the court to file something against you that you are going to come and disrupt. And you know, America, for security's sake, they must have placed they must have placed a restraining order on you without you knowing. So please don't come. Don't come. I said, no, I will come. I eventually went there, but I parked far away from the church. So I was just viewing everything. By the time I got there, my child's body was already in the church, and they said the casket was open. People were looking. Because my friend inside kept sending me text messages of what was going on inside. And when it was time for this man to give an eulogy for the dead child, he was there talking about how they went to Disney World, how they took her to Nigeria the previous year, how they traveled the world with her, which is a lie. He and his wife always traveled, but this girl never traveled with them, except when they took her to Nigeria for the first and the last time. Anytime they were traveling, they would bundle her to their relatives. And did I mention to you that my child was homeschooled all her life? She never attended any school, real school. She was put at home because they didn't want her to know me or meet me by any chance. So this girl was already stuffed up in the house. She doesn't go out. They don't let her do anything. When she got to college, they insisted she do online classes, and that was where she said she's not going to do it, and she dropped out of college. So my daughter never had a college degree at 22. Normally, please, you get your first degree at 20, 21 or 22, depends on your birthday. Because America has there's a specific month of the year that you. Let me just leave all that. But America has. So like I said, my daughter was always in the house. She doesn't go out. She doesn't mix up with people. They never take her anywhere. So she's always in there with them. So him saying that they took him around the world was a shocker to my ear that day. So they finished the funeral, and I saw them bring out my daughter's casket. I ran crazy in the car, and my friend tried holding me back. No, I wanted to run out of the car. They said, no, don't do it. The police may arrest you. And you know what? I regret it. That's my greatest regret up till today. I wish that I had faced my fear and go to jail for it. But when people are holding you, you have no choice. So everybody was, don't go, don't go. So I sat in the car and I saw them carry my baby, saw them drive off. And I came home miserable. So the next day I told myself I have to find out what happened. So I called the police department and they demanded for police reports. And they said, oh, we can't give a police report except we have a proof that you are the mother. Thank God. Thank God. I did not lose my daughter's birth certificate from the hospital. I still have her birth certificate and I will have it to the end of my life. So I told them, yeah, I have her birth certificate. They said, okay, come on in. So I went there and they gave me the police report, and that was where I found out the truth. These people told me that they found her unresponsive, but the truth was, or the police report suggested that my baby ended her own life. And till tomorrow, I will not buy that story. And that is why I'm telling the story everywhere. Because I've tried to reach out to the police. I've tried to make them try to convince them to try to do more autopsy. I don't even think they did an autopsy. Yeah, they told me, they said because she took her life, we're not doing any autopsy. And we're not doing any more investigation. But I'm still working on convincing them to have an autopsy and investigation made. Because right after my daughter was buried, I started hearing stories. These people announced the birth of a set of twins. That same week, my daughter passed. And they did not announce her death. They announced that they have a new baby. It was only when I started contacting their friends, excuse me, that their friends went online to challenge them because they posted the pictures of the babies. And their friends said, are you telling us what we are thinking? Are we sure what we are thinking is not what happened? Where did these twins come from? Guys, when you see the picture of these babies, nobody will tell you or convince you where they came from. You will automatically know where those twins came from. Remember, they took her to Nigeria, and once they came back, they dropped her off in the house and they went back to Nigeria, and they claimed that my daughter ended her life alone in the house. The police report says their basement window was wide open. So, don't you think somebody could have come from the back, did what they did, and placed her in the car where the police found her body? Because when the police found her, she was already decomposed. That's why I don't have a date to my daughter's death. Because the police don't have a date. It's just an assumption that she died on the 12th because they discovered her on the 12th. But the report says she was already decomposing when they found her. So, please, people, make this make sense to me that this man, this couple, welcomed a set of twins that look exactly like my daughter. And then my daughter took her own life a few weeks after. Because I don't understand how this can be true. And that is why I'm talking here online. And I will never stop talking. I won't stop talking. I will not stop talking. Because I want justice for my daughter. I want everyone to help me. I want justice. The police have decided that she committed suicide and they closed the case. And these people have a set of twins that looks exactly like my child. So, where did the twins come from? That is the question I'm asking them. I've been asking that question on my videos, in all my videos. And I know they do watch my videos. They do. Where did the twins come from? Can they just tell us where they got those twins from? Once you see these twins, guys, you're seeing either me or my daughter. Because my daughter looks exactly like me. People who went for her funeral said when they saw her in the casket, they thought it was just me laying there. Because the resemblance is too much. So the babies look, the girl twin looks like me. I mean the babies. And the boy looks like the man or my twin son. Because my son looks like the man. So when you put 1 + 1 together, guys, there will be no mixing it. And that is why I'm crying out. I want the whole world to help me. Please, I want to know what happened to my daughter and where the twins came from. If I get these answers, then I'm going to be fine. And I'll just start mourning my child because I've not even mourned her yet. I want to mourn her more after finding what happened to her. I've been in mourning since August, but that's not even enough. That's not enough. I want a closure so I can mourn my child and know what happened to her.
Rich in love, our God is a merciful God. Oh, full of grace from heaven above. Mercy when I didn't deserve it. Grace when I couldn't earn it. Love that covers all my sins over and over again. If you marked every wrong I've done, who could stand before your throne? But mercy speaks and calls me home. I am forgiven, I am. Our God is a merciful God. His mercy reaches to the sky. Our God is a merciful God. His love will never run dry. Our God is a merciful God. From generation to generation. Our God is a merciful God. Let the whole world know. Merciful God. Let the whole world know. Merciful God. Merciful God. Faithful God. Merciful God. We were.
All right. Thank you, everybody. How you doing? Happy weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching Miss Dorothy's story. First off, I have to make a couple of things clear about this particular live stream. Please, if you haven't liked the show, please like the show. So the reason I brought this story to our community is because I was just binge watching. How do you binge? Yeah, I was binge watching her story all through yesterday. I don't even know the story I've been told a long time ago. So my wife was watching it, and then she called me and said, "Babe, have you seen this?" So I checked. I said, "I haven't seen it," but the video my wife was actually watching was the video she made later on, and I'm gonna show you everything that I found. So when I was watching that video, so many questions came to mind, and I kept asking my wife the question anyway. And she's like, "Babe, I don't know. I just stumbled upon this video and I just want you to see it." So I said, "Okay, send it to me." Then I now traced the video to Miss Dorothy's Facebook page. So she actually has a Facebook. It's called Dorothy's blog. And when I got there, wow, this woman, she's such an amazing woman. She documented a lot, almost everything that went down. She documented it. So, but I was just scrolling through, playing one video after the other because I wanted to get to the roots of the story. I actually started listening when she was telling the story about how she lost her daughter, and it doesn't add up. So I kept asking, where were you in all this? Where were you in all this? In fact, when I heard that daughter was 22 years old and everything that happened to her, I kept asking, this story is not adding up. So when I was on her page, I now took my time to scroll through and listen to many of her videos until I found the one that I just played for you right now. Because it's like after a long time, she now summarized the whole thing in this one that I played. Now, these videos are shared. I think she got them from chapter 1 to 5. So I have to stitch them together so that people can listen to it at a stretch and then make sense of it all. So that's why I played the video. Now, since I'm here right now, I made a promise to myself. I said, this is not a story that I will bring to the Raw Fam, and then I just open everything up and let people just comment on it or react. So I decided I'm not going to allow people to react to this one for one reason and one reason only. The reason is because we are all humans and we all have questions. And sometimes when we're trying to sympathize with a victim, we might not know when we cross over to the other side and start blaming the victim. And I don't want this woman to be blamed. For me, I see a mother who is fighting for her daughter from conception until she became an adult and mysteriously passed. So I don't want any judgment. I'm sorry. You know how we roll over here, but this one is very important that I added all these notes. I don't want people to judge her. I don't want people to criticize her. Rather, I want people to at least empathize with her. And for those who don't know, what she went through can happen to anybody who do not have necessary information in America. So I have to establish that first, okay? Now, I'm going to be here for the next 30 minutes, and I just want to I have great community here, a lot of matured people over here, many Christians, and at least educated people who can actually leave one or two words for her. So I'm going to allow only people who have positive or encouraging things to say about her. Please, if I share the link or I open the phone call, if what you want to add is to ask questions, please don't bother to call. Okay, don't bother. But If you have one or two words you can say to her, just to comfort her, just to encourage her, and if you have any advice to any other women out there who might find themselves in the same situation, you're welcome. So if we have this understanding, I think we're good. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
You are watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.
All right, so as usual, we have our studio number, and of course I will share the link, but I'm gonna say this, you know me, I'm a very friendly person and I'm very, very respectful. Please, if you have anything to tell her, encouraging words, prayers, or advice, any advice for women who might find themselves in similar situation, especially immigrants, those who had no knowledge of how the American system works. If you have advice for them or word of encouragement for Mrs. Dorothy, call our studio line or come into the studio with a link. However, if the reason you want to come in is based on curiosity, if it is, oh, I think she messed up, she should have done this, why, as a woman, you do, please, this show is not for that. Okay, please, I'm begging. All right, if anybody call in, you call me and you want to start blaming or something, I may have to like mute you or something. Okay, now having cleared the air, this is what I'm gonna say. I just discovered this story yesterday, and like I said, I went through her page and I saw everything she have shared. And one thing that was clear to me was this is a mother who is fighting for her daughter. Just like you have so many questions right now, I also have a lot of questions, but I was able to figure out answers to those questions myself. And the answer to me was not far-fetched. Everything that happens. Okay. Hello, Uncle Patrick.
Yeah, you be. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Happy weekend, sir.
Yeah. This Dorothy's story is very emotional for me. I really felt for her.
Me too,
I'm
sir.
praying that she will get justice. You know, like I wrote, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, my only advice for people, anybody in diaspora, I'm not going to blame anybody, just ask questions. Anything that is not clear to you. You know, one thing I learned when I go to America, when I was in school, there's no dumb question.
Exactly.
Even at work, don't pretend you know it. Even if they don't hear your accent, ask questions, doesn't matter. I've been here for more than 2 decades. I got grace of a management position. I still ask questions. People still doubt my ability, despite they know that I can do the job. I'm good. I have the certificate. I even have more than they expected. So wherever you are, whatever you are doing, don't just keep your mouth shut. Ask questions. There is nothing wrong in asking questions. That's what I'm going to say. In every facet, ask questions. Don't be shy. Ask questions. Ask. Call people. Tell them, behave. I don't know it. I need to know more. If you are still doubting, ask questions. Thank God for Dorothy. She agreed that she made some mistakes. It's allowed. It can happen to anybody. Anybody. Nobody should throw shade at her. It can happen to anybody. Thank God she's coming up, because even the way she's coughing, because I was the one coffin. They're like, wow. She knows America, and even the justice didn't favor her. The man knew people at the top, and they messed her up. So for those of us, they ask questions. Yes, I've been in a court where I see the judge staying with girls in our office. When I enter into our office, girls that were supposed to be at the court together. I said, what? Judge? And the same judge was one that came out in America. I'm not talking about Africa. So I know what Dorothy is talking about. It's everywhere. The judge talking to girls in the office. Yes, in my apartment that they took me to court. He was there laughing with them. The same judge that will talk about my case. He has already made his decision. But he knows all the girls in the office. They give him something. He knows. So as there you need a lawyer. Thank you, Uncle Ben.
Thank you, Uncle Patrick. Thank you, Uncle Patrick. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. The number is still open if you want to say anything or advise people, but no negativity. So you saw the video I play here right now, the one in the background. That is Miss Dorothy visiting the cemetery just to spend time with her daughter. Hello, this is UB. Am I speaking with?
This is Gypsy.
Can you say that again?
I said this is Gypsy.
Oh,
I couldn't join the.
How are you doing, my sister? Happy weekend.
Good. I couldn't join the show because I'm at work, but this story really triggered me. I don't women that not Auntie Dorothy, the wife, women like that just make my spirit boil. I am so angry. I'm so angry because this story is so traumatizing, and I can't even imagine how traumatizing it will be for Auntie Dorothy. For years you've been waiting, fighting with your best knowledge. I like what Uncle Patrick said.
Yeah.
Information is key. So many things where she could have made tons, but she didn't have the information. She wasn't privy to it. And it happens to a lot of us, that are here. You move silently, you isolate yourself, so you don't know the system. So, man, I'm just so angry. I'm angry at even the family. I'm angry at this family doing the same rubbish over and over and over again, and they are not being brought to book. It's even the fact that in some kind of weird way, they had the effrontery after everything that they had done to put a picture of, we now have new children. I'm like, are you guys serious? Are you people serious? Does this even make any sense? And that just tells you the level of impunity, the level of impunity, the level of just, I don't even know the words to even describe it. I'm just so triggered, and in my own best way, I will send my love to Auntie Dorothy. I've been trying to understand her story because I follow her on YouTube. I've been trying to understand it because I just kept trying to say, okay, where is the story? So I'm actually very happy that you were able to compile the videos, and now I get a clearer picture of actually what happened, and it's just devastating. So love to Auntie Dorothy, and pray that God will give her the fortitude to be comforted during this time. It's not easy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Thank you, Dulce.
Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, Mama.
Bye.
Have a good weekend, okay?
Bye.
Yeah.
You too.
So some people ask her several questions. Okay, why don't you do this? Where is this? Where is that? Yeah. You know, our Nigerians now and their inquisitive mindset. I actually click on a couple of videos on her blog. So please, if you wanna, I'm gonna try my possible best to cover as much as possible of her story, just for educational purpose only. But if you wanna go and at least listen to almost everything, that is Sister Dorothy's Facebook blog. It's called Dorothy's blog. Please go and subscribe to her channel, follow her, just encourage her. The story is crazy, I get it. Okay? The story is appalling. Like, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna question so many things she said, you're gonna ask yourself. But the one thing I don't expect you to do is to judge her, pull her down, or think, oh, if it can't be me, if not me, I would do this, if not me, I would do that. Listen to me. Life happens. Life happens. Anytime I see people say, oh, that person, it can never be me, I would, nobody did that to me, I will just shake my head. Yes, people will try it with you. The situation wouldn't just be the same. The context won't be the same. And when it's going to happen to you, it will have been done before you realize it, that, oh, what have I just done? Oh, I've been fooled. Oh, I'm a fool. So please, as humans, always bear in mind that there is no exception. When it comes to life happenings to people, oh, you can't tell. So when I watch a story, I kind of understand. First, I felt like, what is she saying? What did this woman they talk in this America? Like I said, the first video I was listening to was not cutting it for me. It was like the video was started around when she lost the daughter. So I kept asking myself, where are you? Where are you? Even at the point, because I just can't comprehend it. So at the point, I'm like, wait, the daughter is 22 and this happened in America? Okay, definitely when the daughter was 18, yes, the daughter will be free. The daughter will, but then I said to myself, hey, Ben, chill. Get all the story. At least I know this is a two-sided story. Auntie Dorothy's side and the so-called accused side. But at least let me hear the full story from Sister Dorothy's side first. And then I listen to everything. And it makes sense to me. You know why? This story is the story of many immigrants. The only difference is many of those immigrants do not get pregnant and found themselves lonely. Then they have nobody, they don't know anyone. That is why, but a lot of immigrants pass through what Sister Dorothy passed through, and I will explain how that usually happens. I don't know if you heard me say something like this on this channel before, when I said I am not a fan of those people who came from Africa on visitors visa with the intention to stay. I've said that before. I've said that several times on our channel here. I was never and I will never be a fan of that shit. You see husband and wife, because they are doing good in Africa, they got money, good job, they will plan that we're going to relocate to America. And then what do? They will get a visitor's visa. You can back, I don't know how Trump and his people are doing now, but before now, you can get multiple entry visa, but the highest you can stay at one time is 6 months. You can have multiple entry, but at a stretch, you can only stay for 6 months. So what many people were doing at the time was, couples, they will get the visa, they will come, and then they will start looking for ways to stay. They want to walk around the system. I'm never a fan of that. So when I listened to her story, I saw it right there. Why she went through everything that happened to her was just because she and her husband, after getting married, they came over to America for their honeymoon. She herself had no intention of staying here. Her thing was, hey, babe, we go to America, we flex, we do everything, and then we go back. The husband, on the other hand, have a different plan. What's the plan? He wanted to stay. That's just what I'm getting from this story. So why Miss Dorothy think, oh, I'm here with my husband, we're staying, multiple entry, and the husband, according to her, is a businessman. So you know what businessman does? They can come, stay 3 weeks, 1 month, go back, come in. It's multiple entry. She even said the husband had like 5 years visa, but it's multiple entry. Why she was on maybe 2 years visa or something. So I saw through what's going on there. The husband wants to stay in America. She never planned to stay in America. So because the husband wants to stay in America, the husband started playing her from the moment he got here. That's how her story changes. So if you go back and watch the video, you should understand now. Because the husband wants to stay, the husband now connive with his family members here in the United States. They found a wife for the husband. The original husband, they found a wife, according to her story. And then they invited her to this meeting where they broke it to her that, hey, our brother, because of age, because you were once married or you have a child, this marriage cannot go on. And the husband was drinking. He drank himself to stupor. But while all this was going on, she was already pregnant. Now she can still walk around it, you know. The right thing to do is like, hey, you know what? Let me go back. If I'm in Africa, I can take care of myself. I can handle this. But then she's pregnant, went to hospital, she got diagnosed, they told her she got cancer. Now tell me, because I'm just giving this background for those who may want to judge her. I just want them to have a rethink. Now, she got diagnosed with cancer. Tell me, if anybody is diagnosed with cancer, would you stay here in the United States to get yourself treated? Or you will pack your bag and you go to Africa? If you're listening to me, just drop it in the chat. Let's just see if I try to make this make sense to some extent. Definitely you want to stay here to treat yourself. So she filed for visa extension. She's pregnant, got diagnosed with cancer. Husband is playing game with her. They just broke her heart. 3 months into the United States. The family just told her, hey, they're not marrying you again. No. Your marriage is over. She doesn't know anybody. That was it. And that was why it was easy for the husband to come back to her again and say, hey, I'm coming back now. Don't mind my family. We will cut all of them up. We're just going to make this work. You know, what would you do as a woman? Just tell me. What will you do? You're pregnant for this man, diagnosed with cancer, baby is growing in your womb, your husband that ran away called you out of the blue and said, you know what, I'm sorry, forgive me everything, I'm coming back. What would you do? Took the husband back, husband stay a few weeks or something, tell her bullshit story. I'm going back to Africa. I have to go and put business in order. Boom. The husband left before she realized that when the man came back, he just came back to gather the rest of his things and leave. Just imagine the picture. Just play it for a minute like a movie. We are all human. There's only few things you can do if you find yourself in this same situation, especially as a woman. Even the cancer diagnosis alone will knock many people off. Even if you are a man, I'm healthy, I'm strong, go hospital, make the diagnosis, say, oh, I'm sorry, you got cancer. Your life will literally start crashing from that moment. So I'm just saying this for people who get to see her story and they are thinking, oh, it can never be me. This woman, I saw one sister left a comment on one of her video. The sister say, you mumu. This is a sister I respect a lot. We be friends for Facebook. We be friends for Facebook for like almost 6 years now. And she left the comment there. You too mumu. This sister is a nurse practitioner. I just look at you will be woman. Are you listening to what she's saying at all? Or you are just coming from this holier than thou? From this I know it all. We are human. As for me, Uncle Ben, one of my guiding principles is anything can happen. That is why you must always rely on God. That is why you say your prayer anytime, any day. That is why you must always say, God, I thank you. Don't ever believe, oh, it can never be me. Me. They no bond the man well. They no bond the woman well. Bro, just look around you. Doctors, engineers, scientists, politicians, business gurus, people who are 1,000-fold better than you. Alarm, they tear them. People who are super smart, they can't figure some shit out. Have you seen educated men and women on social media with multiple degrees who relationship just like that scattered? One question they kept asking themselves all the time is, how did this happen? I'm on top of this. I got this. It can't be me. Sometimes when I hear people say that, I'll just say, you don't understand. When life happens to people and they say, why? It can't be me. I got this. What went on? My dear, life happened. That's just what went down. You've heard me said on this channel on multiple occasions, anytime we're talking about relationship, we talk about marriage and everything. I always said it. I will say, look, even we did marriage, now by grace of God, don't let anybody come and bragado to you that, oh, me, I'm too good, I know it. No, me, divorce, lie, it can never happen. I usually shake my head. Now, because life never jam, may life not show us the negative sides in Jesus' name. So when I hear a story, I got it. Somebody left a comment under her post and said, with how eloquent she speaks, how can this happen to her? All those comments are there, but I'm not interested in those negativity anyway. So I'm not going to look at it. I'm just like, see, human being, oh, your life is so perfect, Abby. You hear her story. Instead of to give her credit, you want to criticize her. And in case we don't know, why should people give her credit? You may want to ask. The fact that she is alive alone, it deserves huge credit. Because if you listen to her story, after her husband treated her, deceived her, impregnated her, and abandoned her in a country where she had nobody, she doesn't know anybody, she only came here for vacation, she now has to start all over. Her husband abandoned her after she has been diagnosed with cancer, with pregnancy in her tummy and everything. The depression alone can literally snuff the life out of her. So give her credit for staying alive. Give her credit for using her brain and being so intelligent about how she navigated this whole situation. Because after that, she wanted to survive. I give her credit because she was undergoing treatment, still antenatal on the one side, and then now she's going to have the baby. They're already giving her advice. Hey, with this cancer treatment, you're going to be going in and out. You need somebody to take care of your daughter when you have her. Have you found someone? And then, even in her pain, in her disappointment, she still tried to find a way out. And that is when she said she started going to African stores, looking for older Nigerian couple that can help her watch her baby while she goes to treatment. Now, I know people may have questions around that, like, hey, in America, listen, if you don't live in America, if you're in Africa and you don't live in America, you will think America is paradise. Maybe they break up for you guys. I'm sorry. Me, I've always been proud of my Nigerian heritage. So I can say whatever I want to say. Anybody will want to learn, make it learn. I think just about 3 years into living in America, I've seen what I wanted to see about America. America is like a bubble. It's like a balloon. They say story to you in Africa. They tell you, this is the best country in the whole world. This is perfect. Oh, this is paradise. Where everybody is okay. Freedom. You relax. You chill. Your life. Bullshit. This is a country where nobody, sometimes you have to struggle before you get somebody to come to your aid when you are in need. This same country where we did. In case you don't know now, better listen. If you want to relocate to America, in this country, this America, before you can find somebody that will dash you $50, especially as a new immigrant, where you never know anybody, before you find person where go dash you 50, even borrow yourself. At the end of the day, it will come down to which circle you did. Did you, like, for instance, maybe as I did here now, somebody come from Nigeria, you relocated, and then you are still struggling. Maybe they never pay your salary, and you are broke. You won't buy gas. You just need maybe $50 or $100 because you know me. You can call me. Hey, about Ben, I got weekend now. Weekend they go pay, but my gas don't finish and food no day. But if I see like $60 borrow, once they pay me, I will pay. Maybe because you know me, I will say, okay, we be Nigeria paddy, I give you $60. But if you don't know me, if you don't have people like that in your circle, people you can really call, people that can really have pity on you, nobody borrow anybody shishi here. So if you are listening to our story and you are thinking, you really don't know what she's into. This is a country where if you don't have people checking up on you, People can literally sit in their own house and they go pie. Nobody will know say they don't pie until they begin smell. Yes, it's in this country. This is the same country where you and your neighbor una go they see each other like so una the enemy. Depending on the environment where you live. If you are lucky to find yourself in a neighborhood where you and your neighbor they do hi, thank God. Oh, thank God. America is not like Nigeria, where you get up, you go waka enter your neighbor house. Hey, neighbor, now well, you get a small oil there. It's not here. The contract between you and anyone else here is the contract between you and the government. You need help, you go to the government. You anything. If you not get house, you go to the government. You will be lucky if you become homeless and somebody open their door for you to come inside. So in case if you really don't know the America we live in, that is the America they tell you now. So if you are listening to Auntie Doris' story, listen to her story from what the background I'm giving you right now. I've never been to Maryland. I've never been to Baltimore. But I know America, everything is almost the same. She was isolated. Nobody to help her. So now the husband that impregnated her abandoned her. Now she needs help. She was going up and down, no help, until somebody now gave her a lawyer's card and say, this is an immigration lawyer. In case you need anything. She called the immigration lawyer, told the immigration lawyer her predicament. That immigration lawyer is the person that did this to her. Maybe that will help you understand the story. Not the original husband she came with. Oh, that one has abandoned her and ran away with her family. Oh. The immigration lawyer she called, that she paid to help her extend her visa, that was the same immigration lawyer. She had no choice but to open up to, because it's a Nigerian lawyer. And if you're a Nigerian lawyer and you get to see this video, let me tell you right now, you guys don't have good reputation, no. Work on yourself, distinguish yourself. Oh. You guys, you don't have one single better reputation in this America. I have not met all Nigerian lawyer in this America, but anyone that get to see this, if you are a Nigerian lawyer in this America, make sure you repair your reputation. No, you guys don't have good record. Nigerian lawyers are everywhere, but you will be shocked at times when you have some situation that you needed a lawyer to fight for you. People will warn you to not go to a Nigerian lawyer. How does that sound? How? It doesn't look good though. Again, this does not apply to all Nigerian lawyers, but I'm just telling you, do your homework before you hire a Nigerian lawyer. Nigerian lawyers, some of them are supposed to use their knowledge to help discharge their duties professionally. Many of them use that legal knowledge when they get, they use it to subject their client, to cheat their client. I will leave it at that. So all this background is very, very important. If I don't emphasize all this, maybe if you listen to Auntie Dorothy's story, you may not understand her situation. It will be so easy for you to say, why is this woman just moo like this? Why this woman just do like this? No. I give her a lot of credit. So now, the immigration lawyer is the one that now trick her and now say, oh, you need help. I can get you help. See, I have a sister, the sister that can help you watch your pikin when you recover after you put to bed. If she had been in America for way too long, she would have known that nobody in this America, I go talk am again, nobody in this America will simply help you collect your pikin, say they go help you watch your pikin. Why you are taking care of yourself? Maybe 2-3 months for you to get better. You know, they quote me anywhere. What you can perhaps get. Who is this? Oh, okay. So, what you can perhaps get in America is somebody that will watch your baby for you, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. Maybe some of your neighbor or your Nigerian community, maybe some people, papa and mama, they come visit, or maybe some mama can do a mugo, and then you can quickly put your pikin there. You go work more, you come back, or maybe you have some really good friends where they do shift. One person they do morning shift, somebody is doing evening shift, so you feel give the pikin to the person where they do morning shift, and then in the evening you go watch the person. Maybe you can get that. But what she was looking for, the only place she can find that is in Nigeria. If this had happened in Nigeria, she would have seen a lot of people that willingly they would say, bring the baby. Even some say, if they not collect the baby, say they will take care of the baby for her, they will volunteer to come to her house. To come, they shower the pikin, feed the pikin, do everything. That was what she was looking for. All her mindset was, at least we can get help now. So at least if I can get older parents, some grandma, some grandpa, they will help. That was what I was looking for. But the lawyer knew. The lawyer that introduced that woman to her, the woman that happens to be the lawyer's wife, but the lawyer claims his own sister or something. The lawyer knew nobody go collect pikin for her. And you can hear from the backstory. According to what she said, allegedly, the lawyer and wife, they don't get pikin. They'll be married for forever. Pikin no day. So probably the lawyer brain just go, bang, bang, this is an opportunity. The rest is history. So you heard how she described how they somehow manipulated her into giving up her baby for adoption. When all she thought was, if not 1 month or 2 months, my pikin could just stay there. When I get better, I'll get my pikin back. By 3 weeks, when she went back and they said, you don't have cancer now, it's just liver problem. She thought, I'm good right now. Let me go and quickly recover my pikin. And that's when the reality hit her. Then she called the Oyinbo lawyer. The Oyinbo lawyer tell her, say, you can revoke the adoption paper you signed. She revoked. They bring pikin back. The same lawyer wife will be nurse now contracting her. According to her story, contracting her. You are sick. You see, everything she described is accurate. If you have met some really terrible, wicked Nigerian women, you will know she's not lying. Everything she said, as soon as the woman bring the pikin, the woman was like, hey, Dorothy, you are sick. You are sick. You can't take care of yourself. You are very, very sick. If not you, what would you do? You were sick. You have a little baby, 3 weeks old baby that you can't take care of. Somebody come back. Hey, Dorothy, now help, I won't help you. Shebi and your pikin. Shebi, I go help you back. It's true. I know they're there. But when she was describing that moment, I know she's telling nothing but the truth. If you have met really wicked, stupid, manipulative Nigerian women, you will know exactly how they behave at times. So I'm just saying all of this for those who might get to see this video on the channel here. If you leave negative comments, this particular one, I'll be monitoring you. You leave negative comment, I'll go come and block them, remove you or do whatever. Thank God. This is not about making money. It's about bringing awareness to what people go through in this so-called America. You might think you know it all, but it happened to you. This America is where some shit will happen to you. You will never see it coming. Never. I've gone through mine. Everybody have their story. Nothing is guaranteed in America. That is why even when you look at corporate America, when you look at work environment in America, everybody is working with fear. Tell me if I'm lying. If you live in America, just say, you been a lie. You where me at the work? I know the fear. Everybody is working with the fear that they will take that job from you at any freaking time. Now only one small mistake you go make. Just go make one dumb ass mistake. They will fire your ass. Even if it was, if you don't make no mistake. See what happened when President Trump came in? When they were doing dodge. Oh, we are cutting expenses. We are saving money. What happened? They were firing people, letting them go left, right, and center. So go and ask those people that were let go. Go and ask 100 of those people that were let go as a result of President Trump's new administration. You will see that 95% of them go tell you, say, never in their wildest dream did they expect that they can fire them. Or maybe they can let them go. That is why I said, in this America, life can happen to you in any form, in any way. I have a joke I used to throw around at my job, okay? I have a joke I used to throw around at my job, and I would say, hey, anytime I send work, I can say, hey, thank God, oh, I still get work. And my colleagues will be laughing. I advised somebody one time, I think that was 2017. We finished nursing school 2016. So by 2017, me and the person, we don't work for almost 1 year together. So the guy, I go give her a ride, come work one day. He can't see my Uber sticker. But yeah, Ben, you do Uber? I said, yes, my vehicle has always been on Uber. I said, look, all my 3 vehicles, they are all on Uber. So, whoa, what are you doing? You're a nurse, man. Uber is. I said, oh boy, are you forgetting I'm a Nigerian? And I think it's from this African country. Is it Togo or something? No, not Togo. One of these West African countries, maybe Benin. So he wouldn't understand the Nigeria hustle in me. It was like, man, come on, man, you're a nurse. How you do that? I said, are you forgetting I'm a Nigerian? Nigerians always have backup, man. This job is a formal job. I'm going to get fired at any time. Nothing is guaranteed. Remember, I got bills to pay. I ain't going to lose one job and then I'll go home, start crying. It ain't going to happen. It will never happen. You leaving one job like this, I won't even bore. I leave one job, sir, now to sleep like 1 month first. Anytime I change job, usually when I leave one job, and I want to apply for another job, I usually give myself like 3 weeks. I go just they sleep, they play, they do anything around. Oh my God. Look, I'm saying this for you to know that life is not guaranteed. Don't ever assume that, oh, no, this can never be me. It can never happen to me. No. That is why people usually have plan A, plan B. So what happened to Sister Dorothy, it can happen to anybody. I'm just happy that despite everything she has been through, she was able to pull through. She's able to pull herself together. This traumatic experience is not easy. And I love her for one thing. I've never met her. I don't even know her before. Like I said, I saw the video yesterday. In fact, it was earlier this morning. I think I get a text from my Auntie Aduni. That's when I knew that, oh, Auntie Aduni, know her, they be friend or something. I don't know her from anywhere. But I just want you to know that this auntie has gone through so much and she has survived a lot. I think people should learn her courage. People should pay attention to how she never lose hope, how she kept fighting. And you should also give her credit for every time she got knocked down, she came back again. For a woman, and yet the same crazy lawyer still come back, grape her. I saw a comment, I think when I was watching the video on the graping, somebody say, this story get us a bill. And you just come and you say you did it, so they ejaculated. Now, wow, I'm just like, how can people be so dumb? Let me explain something to you. See, I try as much as possible to not go into my nursing profession anytime I'm on this channel. If you notice, I usually stay away from anything nursing. I know they try to explain any medical terminology or anything. I just stay away from it. But let me just give you small insight. Have you experienced shock before? Shock. Like, what is happening before you, what you are experiencing at the moment, is a complete different thing from what you were expecting. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying now. I'll give you an example how shock work. Imagine, how can I describe this? What if you describe this way, if you make people really, really understand how shock work? What if you work perfectly here? I don't want to use violence. Let me use something else. Okay. None of us will experience accident in our life. In Jesus' name, it will never happen to us. But have you ever seen a situation whereby you were in a vehicle, and all of a sudden, another vehicle just give you rear end? Within the first 5 minutes, I swear you wouldn't know what's happening. The first 1 minute, that is where people usually develop heart attack when they get into accident, because you were never ever expecting anybody to ram into you from behind, or maybe even in front of you. Now, imagine this lawyer that have inflicted this so much pain on this woman. The lawyer called her and said, I'm coming over. We need to have a meeting. Let's have a conversation. Remember, this is a woman that is longing to even hold her baby in her hands, and her child is with these people. Now, when the lawyer said, I'm coming, we're going to talk, all her expectations are up. Like, oh, finally, maybe he's coming to come and negotiate how I'll be able to be seeing my child frequently now. And you heard her describe her room. She only have a TV stand and bed. The lawyer have to sit, she herself on the other side. And she said they were having conversation, which I believe will set her around how do we move forward. This is the same lawyer that's supposed to be apologizing to her, begging her. But here is what I get from what happened there. This auntie is just an innocent woman. It's just a woman whom so much has happened to. She was a helpless woman. She's just looking towards God, hoping that God will rectify what has gone wrong. And remember, at this time, her immigration status was still shaking. Many people that watch her story really don't know what's going on in America. They were just looking from outside. In this America, if you have immigration problem, oh, may this never be your portion in Jesus' name. Oh, this is why I keep telling people that, you see, all those people that come back to Africa and they tell you story of how they enter America through backyard. Oh, it's not hard now. Just go. And when you just enter, you just see somebody, you just marry. Oh, you can lie. You can file asylum. They will just tell you this bullshit story. how God has miraculously make it possible for them to have their paper, that they regularize their paper. They are not telling you how many times they almost pee in their pants when they are afraid that immigration might find them out. They won't tell you. They won't tell you how many times police will stop them and they will almost have panic attack. They will not tell you how many times they walk in places where they are using someone else's paper. And every day they are going to work, they are scared shit that people do not find out what they've done. They don't go tell you all those one. They will just come to Africa and tell you bullshit story. Tell you how they are balling, how they are, your guy at my job, your guy. Many of them are lying to you. And now they make it look so interesting that some of you will go and sell everything you have and you start coming to America without the right documentation. You got to understand. At the time this MF grape her documents are not yet regularized. When the MF came around, she was not expecting that he's going to do that shit. Everything the guy did was a shock. And I love her for her honesty. I know people will watch and say, hey, it can never be me. I would, how dare you? Listen, this happened in 2023, 2024. No, 2003, 2004. 2003, 2004, we don't have a lot of African YouTubers like this that will literally be giving you information about how to. It's not like this. I don't know if you guys can at least understand this. 2003, 2004, Africans, we don't even share. They know they share. Even till now, many Africans don't share. I'm not trying to beat my own drum, but so many things that I usually, in my Yoruba language, we will say, jamisi. So many things that I've jabbed people see. Like, if I learn something now, I'll quickly, guy, try this thing now. So many things. I've lost count of how many people that where I work, they will be working for me as my tech, like a healthcare assistant, CNA. And the moment I start interacting with them, I will tell them, look, no, you go to school, you get university degree. This job, don't do this job more than 1 year or two. Here are options. Go to school, see the list of certification programs you can do. See schools that you can apply to. See where you can literally see money to sustain yourself. Look at the brighter side. If you do this one, you will forget being CNA. You not go wipe your hands again. You go date this level. You go date that level. Me, I literally share. I don't care because for me, who knows? If I share, give you today, you feel the high position tomorrow. You go see me when they say, hey, Ben, oh yeah, come. You don't open. That is how I roll anyway. Whether people remember, I don't care. But I'm just telling you that people don't share. Literally, even till now, some people won't show you nothing. When I wanted to do janitorial business, that's when I begin to see that in America, girlfriend, though. Forget that shit, though. It's not everybody that say I'm your friend in America. Not all of them be your friend, though. Some of them are just your friend. So both of you can drink together. Some of you are just your friends so that the numbers can increase when we hang out. When I wanted to do janitorial business, did you know that I know more than 4 people who have been in that business? They do it for almost 2 years. They post me. Ben, business here, I go show you. Hey. Initially, I didn't know. After a while, now I realized that, these guys no one show me this business. But I give God the glory because, like I've always said, there is a fortune in every misfortune. As soon as I realized that nobody won't show me road, like they are literally hiding janitorial business, so just to go clean office. So when I realized that they're literally hiding it for me, Emi Omo Eko Lagos boy, my brain tell me quickly, Ben, hey, watch how you move around these folks. So I give myself brain. That's when I started doing my own research. And then God started opening my eyes. I started asking questions. I completely changed my circle. I started going to the Egbons. Because in America, Nigerian community, if you find yourself in a Nigerian community where they tell you what's up, give God the glory, worship those people. This auntie, she had no information. No, everything that happened to her happened between 2003, 2004. No information. Her immigration status was shaking. Everything. Now, this guy that literally tricked her into taking her baby away, now come back. She expecting, no, this guy is going to like have a good negotiation with me where I'll be able to like at least embrace my pikin. All of a sudden, the guy grab you, he pin you down. The shock alone, women, now if you understand, the shock alone, like what are you doing? What are you doing? That's why, how you well, I will leave that to people to go and figure it out. But then now she had twists. She's fighting for one baby that was taken away. Now she got twins. No job. Hey, if you don't give her any credit, at least give her credit for staying alive. Give her credit for at least in the midst of all this, she still raised fantastic children. Some women would have ended up in mental home. Yeah, in this America, some women would have ended up in mental hospital. Some people don't even go through half of what she endured. They go down, they load them up with psychotropic medication. So, thank you for watching. I said all of this so that for anybody who might come back to watch her story, don't judge her. I will say it over and over again. Don't judge her. America simply happened to her.
Cry, you hear my call. Our God is a merciful God, forever faithful.
America happened to her. Sister Dorothy, silver and gold, I do not have. Okay. I appreciate the fact that you admitted your wrongdoings. I appreciate the fact that you stated over and over again in your story, if I had known, I wish I know. Sister Dorothy, please don't blame yourself, okay? 100,000 people may watch your videos. 90,000 of them may not get it. They may criticize you. They may judge you. I just want you to know that I am one of those 10,000 people who understand your story. Okay? I want you to know I can feel your pain. And I want you to know that your daughter is in a better place now and she's smiling down on you. Justice will be served one way or the other. Me, Ben, I'm not judging you. I trust my community members here, the real fam. Nobody will judge you. Keep fighting. And above all, I want to thank you for sharing this story. You have done the world a favor. People may not know. If you have written this in a book, people will doubt it. Yes. If you have sold this story out for a movie producer, people will doubt it. But the fact that you had the courage to turn on your camera and took your time to tell this story, those who won't learn will learn. Your story, unknown to you, might have saved the lives of hundreds of children as we speak, both in Africa and in America. So please don't beat down yourself. Don't ever regret saying, why did I even share this story? Oh, maybe I should have kept it to myself. No. You are saving lives. You are saving a lot of mothers out there. And God will bless you for sharing your story. I watched through all your video and I have the impression that you are doing good. Yeah. You don't even have to try for people to know that you are in a better place now. And it takes a lot to get there. I pray God will continue to watch over you. Your children will be achieving greatness from one level to another. And everybody that gets to see your story and they empathize with you, God will bless them. Continue on your journey. Continue to speak. Continue to educate people. A lot of people that get to see your story, they really don't know that evil exists. Some people think, say, when they talk, say evil people today, some people think, say, those evil people, now for spiritual realm, now they exist. They don't know, say, now human being like you and I. Now then they actually inflict evil doing on other fellow human beings like themselves. So thank you, Sister Doris. Thank you very, very much. Everybody that get to watch our story, thank you. Those that called in, Uncle Dio, thank you very much for your take. My lovely sister Dupsy, I appreciate you calling and dropping your 1 cent. This is crazy, man. Now, I'm gonna leave you with how many videos now? I think about 4 videos. She actually did some follow-up videos where she answered questions. A lot of people were asking her questions and she tried to at least make it make sense. Some of the questions, as you can see on the screen, some people ask, where is the flyer lady? That is the flyer of her daughter. Some people say, oh, such a mumu. Some people call her mumu. I don't know. Some people really don't. I don't know. I get it though. Some people ask her, why didn't your daughter run out of the house? And she answered that question. So I'm going to play that for you now, for you to understand why the daughter did not run out of the house. Thank you, everybody. Oh, sorry. I did not even check the comment because I wasn't expecting much. Hey, cool mama, how are you doing, ma? You're welcome. It's been a while. Oh. The cool mama looking gentle and fine. Comfort Fash, my lovely sister, how are you doing, ma? You're welcome. God bless you. Ernest Justin, I don't know what this is all about. You say, Okembonu, tell the world the truth about what happened to Cherika. Unfortunately, I don't know what that is all about, okay? Shout out to my sister, Cece. What's up, mommy? Buki, La Buki, how are you doing? You're welcome. You're welcome. Damama 5. Hello. My Abby, the baby of the house. Alpha, how you doing? Thanks, everybody. Beatrice, thank you. welcome. And of course, my Idera, you see, Idara, I beg no verse. Idara, I think that one sounds better. Idara, how are you doing? Idara said she was vulnerable. That family took advantage of her. May God comfort Auntie Dorothy. This can happen to anyone. Very true. Absolutely. Absolutely. It can happen to anyone. Please don't say I'm this fantastic person. Nothing can happen to me. Misty, thank you, Mama. My baby Zeno. What's up, Mommy? Women are going through a lot too. Women are going through a lot. Thank you, Balaji. Balaji said, this story is heart-wrenching. May Almighty God give you, Dorothy, peace, and may judgment fall upon all that did you wrong. Amen. Amen. In fact, I double say amen to that. All right, let me just leave you with her response, and then I'll catch you up on the next one. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like the video if you haven't liked it yet, and share it. Let people read, let people listen to her story. They will learn so much from this. There are evil people. Don't trust nobody like that too. Okay, I think there was a time when Auntie Dorothy said she did not check her husband's phone because she believed she don't want to hurt herself or something. Look, I'm also one of those people who believe that you should not check people's phone. But if you know your man, your wife is moving somehow and they don't show you shaggy once, after they don't show you that shaggy, don't take chances. That's what I can say to that. There are people like Auntie Dorothy out there. There are people who, once they trust you, they just trust you. They don't doubt you. There are people who don't question whatever you tell them. And sometimes they do that out of love. They do that because they just left everything to God. There are people like that. Okay? But for me, if somebody don't disappoint you once, you don't have any reason to trust them again. You have no reason to trust them. Because if they can betray your trust for the first time, there is higher tendency that they will betray your trust again and again. So you don't want to experience the heartbreak that you had the first time they betray you. So if you have to look into, their phone, if you have to probe one or two things about them, out of curiosity, just do it. Just do it. Sister Dorothy seems to me like a very religious woman. And this is why it pains me when I see people took advantage of people who truly serve God. People who leave everything to God, and some people will just take advantage of them. No, it doesn't go well with me at all. All right. Okay, let me play the video of her responding to some of the questions that were asked.
You are watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.
Stand before your throne, but mercy speaks and calls me home. I am forgiven. God is a merciful God. His mercy reaches to the sky. Our God is a merciful God. His love will never run dry.
All right, this is Sister Dorothy answering the question of why didn't your daughter run out of their house? So take a listen to her answer.
That poor girl saw hell. She saw hell. She saw hell, yes. I was just talking to one of their friends a few days ago. He stumbled on my video and she called me and she was like, I was just listening to this video and I wasn't sure it was you. But then when the story went on and on and on, I realized it is you. I'm just gonna, I won't be mentioning names here. So this person was like, I listened to an extent and I was like, what? Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? That poor girl. Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? This is Dorothy and this is Dorothy's blog. This is where I come to tell my story every week or every other week. So today I'm here again to answer some of your questions. Like I said in one of my last videos, if you have any question for me, just come to my email, my mailbox, ask me, and I'll reply you. I'll make a video to reply you. So, but first of all, before I say anything, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Guys, you don't know how your responses and how your views make me feel. You can't really tell. You don't know what this is doing to me. This is part of my healing and also part of me getting information, because I see a lot of comments that direct me to where I didn't even really think of before. So thank you so much for everything. I truly appreciate you. But my prayer for you is that none of you will go through what I'm going through, because I wear the shoes and I know where it pitches. So I can tell you for free that this is not a good place to be. But with people like you always encouraging me, I feel like, I can do this. Excuse me. Like I said in some of my videos, at the point I became discouraged and I stopped talking, because I would put out a video and then nobody will even watch it or say anything. And that kind of made me feel so sad. But I thank God that for these past weeks, I've been, putting out my videos and you all have been watching and you have been talking. You have been encouraging me. You have been saying so many things. And I appreciate you all. I truly do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Like I said, may you never be in these shoes that I'm wearing right now, because they're not comfortable at all. So having said all this, the first question I'm going to answer today is the question about why are you not scared of talking? Why are you still talking? Why don't you just keep quiet and let God do what he needs to do? And are you not scared for your life? I've gotten that question like about 6-7 people have asked me that. Are you not in any way scared for yourself? Don't you think that these people may come after you and stuff like that? And I'm going to address that today. Guys, there's an adage that says, he who has already fallen needs no fear for fall. He that is down needs no fear for fall. Needs no fear of falling, if I should say it like that. So I am already down here. So what else am I afraid of? What else will make me scared? These people scared me for more than 22 years. They scared me. Yeah, they scared me for many, many years. I would come out to talk and they will go talk to people and people will come after me. And the height of their, how do I put it? The height of their intimidation came in 2019 and 20. That year, even up to 22, those years were horrible. Those years were very, very scary for me. Apart from my life, these people also wanted to take away my source of income. They tried so much to make me lose my license. And they knew that was the only thing I did at that point. Up to now. So then they tried so hard to make sure I don't have any source of income. So they took me to court several times. Guys, when I say several times, I mean several times. These people took me to court, at least I can say like maybe 9 times or more. And the first time they took me to court, they sued me for harassment. I went to court, and these people came there and told all kinds of lies. I tried to talk to the judge. I said, Your Honor, can you let me tell you my story from the beginning? The man shut me down. He said, no, you don't have to tell any story here. We are here to deal with the harassment, the harassment that this couple have against you. So you don't have to tell any story here. That day, I was so upset. I was so mad. I didn't know what to do. And like I always have that, I've had interactions with judges in Maryland that are always almost, I know what they can say. I know what they've done. I know how they've intimidated me. I know how much they've put me down. There was this time this woman took me to court. This was in 2009. No, I took them to court for the restraining order. I took the man to court for restraining order. And when he was coming, instead of him to come and plead guilty, he brought his wife. And this woman came to the court. She cried and told the judge, I'm trying to stress her out because she's a barren woman, because she has no child, that I went ahead to have children for the husband, and now I'm stressing her out. I'm just trying to make her lose her license. I'm just trying to make her look bad. I mean, this lady was crying uncontrollably. She cried. That was the day I knew that I wasn't dealing with just normal people. Yeah, that was the day I realized that these people are evil. If you can come to the court and lie that, tell all that bogus lies. She said that she and her husband took me in when my husband abandoned me. And while I was in their house, I got pregnant for her husband. And that was why that I'm fighting her husband now, because her husband doesn't want to be with me. And the judge had the guts to call me a loosed woman that day. The judge said, you're a loosed woman. The judge said, why would you want to destroy the reputation of this good couple? This judge said so many things that day.
Erica.
That I couldn't even raise my head up. I was in the courthouse with Mookie. Mookie was there. These people said all kinds of things, and the judge bought everything, bought every lie they told. So I kept going to court, but like I said in my former story, I never got any restraining order. So this time when these people started taking me to court in 2000, it started from 20, 21, 22. They attempted to take me back in 23, but the judge refused. One of the judges refused. These people took me to court and said I'm harassing them. And the judge asked me what I wanted to do. And because, when I look at this whole thing right now, I just regret so many things I did that time. And you wouldn't blame me too. To hire a private lawyer is very expensive. And during that time, I wasn't really financially buoyant. So whatever they did to me, I'll just keep quiet.
All right. I have to end the show here, but I'm gonna give one last advice. Hopefully this can help some people in our community. All right. Let me just drop one last advice for our people. Thank you everybody for watching. Auntie Grace, how are you doing today, man? All right, Auntie Grace, you'll be listening. Okay, that's good. Sister Kudirat, thank you very much. Here is the advice I'm gonna give people as I'm leaving the studio now. I have a meeting scheduled for about 20 minutes from now, so I gotta go. Please, when you find online community like this, our real fam here, initially it will looks like, Oh, it's just a YouTube channel. YouTube channel. Oh, that bros is funny. People there. We just gist. But you wouldn't know the power, the level of support you can get in times of trouble until you belong to a community like this. This auntie went through a lot because she did not belong to any online community. Like I told you, everything that happened to her happened between 2023 all the way to 2024. And within that period, she made several mistakes, which to me, she can call it mistake. I don't call it mistake, because if we have to be honest with ourselves, minus 2023, this is 2026, right? Let's just go by 2025. Minus 2023 from 2025, that is solid 22 years. Minus 22 years from your age right now. Then minus 22 years from the development we've had across the board, both in technology, both in socialization, and both in information sharing. Minus 22 years. So you will understand where she was at that moment. That's why for me, all the time, anytime she blames herself, I'll just shake my head and say, Auntie, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. If we put 100 people in the same situation, at that time, in 2023, 2024, we will barely have about 15 out of 100 people that would have made many of these errors that you made. So don't blame yourself. You only do what you know to do best under the circumstances. Okay? Let us check ourselves. We have what you know right now in 2025, 2026. Did you know all of this in 2023, in 2003 and 2004? So that is how I expect people to kind of understand her story. That's how I want people to understand our story. Everything we thought we know now. Thank God for people like Auntie B of Obodoyinbo TV, her channel is to advocate for women, who through her channel, she has at least brought a lot of highly intelligent sisters, professionals to our platform, that they break many of these things down. And those of us who are opportune to listen, we get to know that, oh, if this thing is happening to you, this is what you are supposed to do. In 2003, 2004, people don't have that. And that's why I always recommend to people that go and listen to Auntie B of Obodoyinbo channel. Go back and watch many of her videos. Filter out the noise. Just concentrate on the information that people are giving out on her channel. So you can't really understand her situation if you are looking at it from the standpoint of where you are now. For you to really get the grip that this auntie, she deserves to be applauded. Just minus 22 years from where you are. Minus 22 years from your age. Minus 22 years from your knowledge base. Minus 22 years from even everything you know about the world. Even technology and everything. Minus 22 years. 22 years ago, we Nigerians, we don't use internet like this. The amount of information that is flying, circulating, we don't have it back then. So anytime I listen to her story and I heard her said, I blame myself, I made so many mistakes, I just feel like I can hug her and say, Auntie, don't blame yourself. You did what you have to do under the circumstances. I think one time I shared my story with my community here. I told you, say, my Papa family, they show my mama shege growing up. And then at the point, my mama started to fight back. Mama said, come, they arrest them. God, and this thing I'm telling you right now, these stories are what happened between 1992 all the way to 1998. Okay? So now, as a grown man now, because I was with my mom and I saw all those things happening, I saw what my mom could have done better, and I saw where the families have made mistakes. But at the time, I'm speaking of 30 years back, at the time, both of them were doing what they thought is the best. So that's how I'm able to understand where this auntie is coming from. 22 years ago, everything she was doing, to her, those are the best actions she can take. So if you listen to her story now, that's why I said, anytime I click on the comment on her videos and I see people just saying some stupid shit, sometimes I will go and look at their profile and then I will just deduct 22 years from their what I think should be their age, and I'll be like, well, you don't know better anyway. Internet don't make everybody think they get sense nowadays. So Auntie Dorothy, please stop blaming yourself. The lesson I can extract and the advice I'll give people is, you need community. You never know when something will happen. You never know when you will find yourself in situations that you will feel helpless. If people should share their story with you, you go shock. As I did like this, I've heard several stories. In fact, since I became a podcaster, people have shared a lot of story with me behind the scene. That is shocking. But when you have community like this, my advice is sometimes reach out. Reach out. Just make sure any community you want to be part of is a community that has solid people. People who are compassionate. People who see you. So that when you are confused, you can just ask, I beg, oh, this thing is going on. Oh, what can I do? You just ask. I've told you guys here that some of the things that work for me the most is my boldness. And they ask questions. And I am not afraid to tell people that this thing, I don't know it. That is me for you. If you can embrace it, it helps at times. If I don't know shit, I'll tell you, I don't know. I've done so many shows on this platform where go get legal applications. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know jack. Now, right there, when we do the show, now you go, don't hear me, they tell our community, I don't know anything about this case, I beg, anybody will know anything, oh, if you, any lawyer, I beg, help me, oh, I don't know this. Because when you ask, you will get help. When you speak up, help will come from where you never ever expected. There are people, do you know how many people who have called on our show here? And they'll say, I've been listening to you for a while. Even me, I go shocked. Say, you be listening. If I have something now that it passed my power, as I talk and I go come here, come talk, I beg go. Who know how if it takes solve the problem, help me, Biko, Edako. Like play, help with show. So please make sure wherever you found yourself, if you live in Europe, you live in UK, you live in Canada, you live in US, you live in Nigeria, any part of Africa, make sure you join a community that has a lot of people in it, because you can never tell. You've seen Very Dark Man solve a lot of problems, right? You see how people are calling Very Dark Man now, like say, Very Dark. Man, don't laugh. But do you know where Very Dark Man derives his power from? I've analyzed that here before. Very Dark Man got his power from the people who are members of his community, the Rattles. That's why when people call Very Dark Man, no, Very Dark Man is not government officer, and it's not a law enforcement agency or anything. When they reach out to Very Dark Man, do you know what they are seeking? Not just Very Dark Man's help. They are looking for the help of the people who are supporting Very Dark Man, because they know if Very Dark Man should bring that matter to his platform, If the writers venture put hand, wow. I know it might seem like, what is relevant or very dark mind is. I'm just using this to explain to you the power of community. Sometimes some of you right now where you live, it might be an environment where you don't have a lot of Nigerians. But thank God for internet. Thank God for social media platforms. You see platforms like our own Man of Prestige, Obodo Yibo, Mom of Five, Auntie Aduni, many platforms like that online. Just be there and be active. Don't just watch and disappear. Drop comment. Start making friends with people online from the comment section. Start making friends. Greeting. That's one of the things that work for we Nigerians a lot. Oh, Nigerians, we they greet. I don't know whether Gen Z they do like that again now, Sha. But we can literally greet everybody. Like Nigerians can literally enter your chat and greet like 4, 5, 6, 7 people. At so, how are you? At so, how are you? Create community. Connect with people. Especially if wherever you are living abroad, you don't have nobody. Connect. It works. If people want to testify, they go tell you where being member of a community have really showed up and saved them before. And like I've always told people, everything is not about money. That is where a lot of people get it wrong. Everything is not about money. Connection is power. Having access to information is even more powerful. Imagine if at the time Auntie Dorothy was going through all of this, she has a community where she can just say, hey, please, I'm sick. The doctor just diagnosed me and I'm pregnant and I need people who can help me wash my baby. Or when they meet her and say, we're going to help you, but this is America. There is a document you may have to sign. It's just like legal guardianship. Imagine if Sister Dorothy was a part of a community and she shared there, hey, the people that want to help me, they say I will have to sign a paper. And I don't know. You will have seen a lot of people that will come to her aid and say, no. Don't sign that shit. That's why I said I don't blame her. It's just at the time all of this was happening, they were happening at the place where she found herself. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Auntie Onyi and my eyes. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys in the next one. We may have Sunday school tomorrow, but definitely if you don't see me tomorrow, we will be posting video, but by Monday, we may come and do some live show. Please go and watch all her video. I share her channel with you already. She has a channel on YouTube. It's called Dorothy's blog, but there is no much video there. If you really want to watch the entire video, it is plenty. Go to her Facebook. Just type Dorothy's blog. You will see all the story there. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. And don't forget to be good, treat people fairly, and always thank God. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.
My call.
Our God is a merciful God.
Forever faithful through it all.
You heal the broken, calm the storm.
You restore
what once was torn.
from darkest nights to brand new days. You make a brand new way. Your mercy speaks when voices blame.
Mercy speaks when voices blame.
Your forgiveness breaks my chain.
Your forgiveness breaks my chain.
I stand redeemed, no guilt, no shame.
Because you never change.
Your compassion never ends.
Our God is a merciful God.
Oh, when I couldn't earn it. Love that covers all my sins over and over again. If you marked every wrong I've done, who could stand before your throne? But mercy speaks and calls me home.
You are watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.